time.
What's going on, everyone? It's your boys back again with another episode of Power Rangers Academia. Yikes. And I say yikes because it's been quite a long-ass time. Definitely overdue if, I don't know, you want to count some of the things that we haven't been here for. But that's why we're here for. I'm not trying to spit bars. I'm just trying.
I know you're trying to spit it. You can tell. I can already tell you're trying to spit bars, son. That was horrible.
Yeah. Okay. See, at least you know. But it has been a while, and we figured, well, let's kind of just wait until some actual substance worth of news drops. Which, crazy enough, believe it or not, guys, they have. Okay, so we actually have certain things to talk about, some things more serious than others, but this is going to be a long one. Since it's been a while, I feel like this is pretty much what's going to be the format for Power Rangers Academia, because I'm sure if you're a real fan out there that truly understands and sees the landscape, it has not been looking good, and we've been saying that for a long time, okay? So before we dive completely into it, guys, how are y'all doing? I know it's been a long time since we've done any of these. So go ahead, Isaac. Go ahead. You could tell us, how are you doing today first?
Let me tell y'all. I really did not expect to actually see y'all here again. I was, for months, son, I was getting scruffy. My hair wasn't getting cut. You know what I'm saying? I probably forgot even how to shower. Wow. I was like a caveman, dog. I really thought I was never gonna see daylight ever again. But then news kept dropping, and then our group chat started becoming more popping. And it's like I hit up my barber, and I scheduled an appointment with him. Obviously not today, in the future, because I still got a lot to work on. But just in case there's more episodes, which now there will be because there's so much stuff going on. Right? I finally ate for the first time in years.
Oh God.
I took a shower again. That hot water felt great.
You touched grass.
I shaved a little bit. I touched grass. I'm like, guys, life is beautiful. Life is beautiful. We got Power Rangers news again. Big news. I saw JD for the first time, and I'm like, "Yo, your head got smaller," but it was just his headset. He upgraded his equipment. Listen,
is also crazy.
Before Tech had the hat on, yo, I saw the Chris Rolls.
He said the Chris Rolls.
I tell you right now, I saw everything. And Uchi, I forgot what he looked like, but I am feeling great. I am reunited here with my boys, my family, my squad, my brothers in arms. I have never been this happy to be back. Not just for everybody here that I'm, have the pleasure of sharing the screen with, but the viewers, the subscribers, the followers. Guys, this is great. God bless 2025. This is gonna be a great year.
We're gonna clap it up. That was so nice and heartfelt.
That was amazing. Yeah, that was beautiful.
We're not gonna see Legend of the White Dragon this year.
Oh,
yeah,
bro, don't get me started on that.
Yeah, look.
You can ring the bell on that one.
Yeah. Tech, how about you? How are you doing today, sir?
I've been smooth, man. Same old. Getting ready for the summer. Man, it was kind of funny because, me, I like taking note of everything when it happens. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll see. Maybe we can talk about that. But until yesterday, I'll chime in every here and then. I'm like, man, I don't know if this is really worth making a whole episode over.
Yeah.
It'll be small, goofy things here and there.
Yeah,
and I'll be like, I guess
know.
we'll just get to it when we get to it. I ain't even tripping.
Right.
But definitely some big news to talk about. Happy to be back. Always dope seeing my homies. Even when we just ramble about nothing when we first get on, I'm like, oh man, I miss these guys. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's definitely great.
That's what I'm
saying. We did bond over Cobra Kai though.
Of course.
We had to
oh my God, what a season finale, man!
What a series! What a show!
That's what we should have did. We should have made this a Cobra Kai channel. In the meantime,
exactly. Funny, what's crazy? There's nothing to talk about in terms of Cobra Kai anymore.
Yeah,
but
the movie comes out.
Talk about Power Rangers now.
Yeah, imagine that.
Crazy.
Yeah, imagine that.
Right.
That's nutty. JD, how about you, sir? How you been?
Yeah, like real talk. Like I was just talking to some of my anime friends, and I was saying like if it wasn't for Red Ranger Isekai, I was kind of like burnt. Like I haven't really been watching the Sentai. You know, I started going back to old Power Ranger stuff just to kind of like watch like highlights, like not seasons, but just like, oh, here's a scene from a season I like, just to try to get the spark to come back a little bit.
I'm always on that Roku though.
JD.
So,
yeah.
Yo,
that bad boy
Tech is
on.
the only
actually
viewer on Roku. That's why they keep it open for him, bro.
So I like they have a lot of it on Tubi too, and I was like, I was trying to get my girlfriend into it because like she's not a fan, but every now and then she'll ask questions because I have all the figures and stuff, and I was trying to like I showed her Always a Chance from In Space because I was trying to explain to her like, you know, Adam, like, you know, I was just showing her Adam because he was cool, but also like the season was like legendary and like Mighty Morphin. You know, I was in my head I was thinking like maybe something will click. Didn't matter. I ended up rewatching it myself anyway. But like you said, like this news came out, and I'm like, okay, well, we actually have some speculation now, you know, where it's like, because like when the news dropped, I'm sure the same thing happened for y'all, but it's like everybody who knows that I'm into Power Rangers hit me up. It was like, yo, JD, what you think of this? What you think of this?
Nice.
And you know, like there's a, I mean, well, I guess we'll get to that, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to hold that thought too. Remind me that I brought that up, that I have to hold that thought because what you experienced is something that I also experienced, very similar. But you know, before Uchi, before we give you the mic, there's something I want to address that I heard JD say, and I think it's very important that we actually talk about it for just a little bit. Well, not really talk about it, but at least mention it. This dude JD has the audacity to try to replace us because there's no Power Rangers news. He said anime friends. You're not supposed to have any other friends besides us.
I mean, I talk to y'all about anime too.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
You like that's what I'm saying.
The toxicity.
I talked to y'all about Red Ranger. Yo, when I was watching Red Ranger Isekai, I posted the screenshot. I was like, "Yo, this show is crazy." Actually,
yeah, and then I posted about my stream that you came to watch when I was watching it on my reaction stream that I've been doing. Yeah, right. So okay, well, that was a nice little warmed up, you know, a round table of where we're all at in life. You know what I'm saying? For me, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I have a lot of product on this table. I have some unopened stuff back there. So your boy's been pretty involved with some affiliate sponsorships on my other accounts that I've been doing. I'm not trying to shill them. I'm just letting you know that I have been occupied outside of Power Rangers, and you know, I'm always keeping my eye on things and my ear perked up. And believe it or not, even to this day, whenever we get that random Battle for the Grid maintenance tweet, my heart skips a beat. Okay, and then reality in that heartbeat skipping moment, I'm just like, and
I always feel so bad for the guys in the comments. They're like, "Oh, what does this mean?" Like,
no.
Dog, the way they type
bad.
up the tweet. The way they type up the tweet, it's like they're giving people hope. They don't know what the hell they're doing. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, honestly, it's like, look, it's one thing, and look, we obviously we've all been at some degree or another involved with the Power Rangers Battle for the Grid community, and you know, on a insider type of level, you know, more than others, whatever. But it's nice that they're doing their job, at least letting people know, like, hey, we're doing maintenance on the servers, and that's it.
Which needed to be done because too many people had to post a ping. Then them matches, I played ranked. Nobody plays ranked more than me, and I'll tell you, some of these matches were unplayable.
Yeah,
so,
and the game, you know, has rollback netcode and all that stuff, but you know, the responses underneath, you know, just a simple maintenance tweet is like, I guess it relates to what we're here to talk about, because this franchise still has enough support from fans that can justify literally anything with it. And the consistent problem across the board has still remained to be that the people in power don't share that same kind of empathy, passion, or care, which, you know, is pretty sad to say in and of itself. But, you know, like, hopefully things change for the better. And that's kind of like what we're here to talk about, because we do have things to talk about. So first up on the docket, we have new toys.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's so you see the unanimous reaction, right? From
Because I didn't think you were gonna start with that.
the toys, but not
it's good to start with.
Guys, I promise, for anybody that's planning on leaving now, let's stop watching the video. I promise you it will get better. We're getting the bad out the way first. All right. You know, we're ending it on a high note. I promise, guys.
Because like
only thing that I will say that's interesting about this is that I saw that other article that I posted that it was talking about how like toy companies are starting to like do outbound licensing and how that's becoming more common these days.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously that's what Hasbro's doing. They're outsourcing Power Rangers to Playmates. And they said that one thing I thought was interesting. They said that Hasbro started talks with Playmates toys back in 2023.
Okay.
So like, I guess that lines up.
That
exactly.
lines up, yeah, because that's when lightning stopped. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I guess, you know, it doesn't really mean anything. I mean, obviously they cut it out for a reason, but I just thought that was interesting. The actual toy line itself, you know, it was,
I don't think.
Talk to him, Tech.
Oh no, I was gonna
about that toy line. You know the toy line, so you want to get it out your system. Talk to him.
I mean, it's the official name is Power Rangers Reignition. They came out with the flip heads first. That was like the first thing that they showed. I mean,
the flip heads,
the square bobs.
Yeah, the square bobs. What did I say? The Kingpin Rangers.
Yo,
I think it looks terrible, but
yeah, let's go. That's what I'm talking about, Tech. That's right. Let's go. Talk to him.
But I get why they did it. Like, you know, that was the most popular. That was the most popular toy back in the 90s. I mean, I'm kind of just in general, like, I'm not the right person to talk to about this.
But I want to hear what Uchi had to say, because as soon as you said that, he winced. So I'm like, I want to hear that.
Okay, so simply put, it's one thing to constantly go back to the well, and the well known as Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Okay, it's one thing to do that. Okay, it's another thing to give us flip toys, which of course we all grew up with. Okay. Mm-hmm. We all remember matter of fact, quick side note, I remember the Christmas that I got my Power Rangers Turbo flip toys that were in one pack. I thought that was the best Christmas I've ever had in my life.
Is it the flip with the leg? Or
yeah,
was
when
it the back? Okay.
And then wait, it was like that, but then like you had to like that they had like a little thing on the back.
I know the Mighty Morphin and Zeo had the one in the back, and I think Turbo had the leg. Where they changed.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Which was whack, by the way.
So either way, right? I remember how they were back in the day. I was a kid, and I, didn't really have the trained eye like I do now. Mm-hmm. Looking at these pictures of what they're doing with Playmates for these new flips, how do they look worse than the 90s versions of what we grew up with? Because, like, listen, for a part of me feels like they should have took bad pictures, because using a high quality camera has only asked themselves out, in my personal opinion. So, yeah, that's really all I wanted to say.
You saw that we saw when Hasbro made their own version of the flip heads, right? And those look pretty bad as well. The fact that this is probably the worst set of flip heads that we've gotten.
Yeah,
it's like, just something weird is with the way that the characters look just is off in an unsettling way, to where it's like, I get doing the novelty of the flip of having the flip heads, but like a kid who this might be aimed at, is not gonna think they look cool because they look like fucking eggs, and then an adult who wants the nostalgia probably owns when they re-released the flip heads like 4 or 5 years ago, because like that's when I got like, because when I was a kid I had the Green Ranger flip head, and obviously because I played with it fell apart, but they re-released them in the old school packaging, and I just bought that and I left it in the packaging, and that's I'm good with that.
That's what I was looking for right now. I thought I had mine here so I could show the camera of exactly when they re-released it.
Yeah, I left it up. It's on my parents' house, so I can't show. But it's like that I'm fine. And granted, it's like clearly it's not for us. But if it's not for us, who's it for? Because
there it is.
That's a very good point.
No, but I will say, now that we have a little bit more context, with what we're going to talk about later, I can at least see where they're coming from with these. I think this by itself looked bad, but like now that we get the context of
they
what's
look even worse
up,
now after the context.
I think it makes more sense now. Like, oh, okay, they're trying to warm them up to it.
Listen, just because it makes sense, don't make it look better.
I will say that I was pleasantly surprised at the New York Toy Fair when they showed how much stuff there was. That actually was kind of cool. I thought it was just gonna be those, and that was it.
Yeah,
but they showed the actual action figures. Those, whatever.
The crazy thing is the flip heads weren't even the worst part, in my opinion.
Yeah, really? the Rita one, and they came out with had Goldar putties, had the Megazords.
The Megazord was bad, but nothing, absolutely nothing. And I don't care.
I was expecting it to look worse.
Guys say,
but maybe that's just because my expectations were low.
The worst thing that they showed by this.
No, I thought you said the Megazord.
No,
the Dragon Dagger.
Dog. Those morphers are the most horrendous thing I've ever seen in my life.
I didn't look at.
I don't know how they can continuously fuck that up.
Dog, look at those morphers.
Like how many times?
Worse than the flip heads. Worse than anything else they showed.
Oh, the coins are terrible. You mean like the actual morpher?
Dude, the coins look like freaking wafers.
Dog.
Yeah, the coins do look bad.
First of all, the Power Rangers logo is wrong on the morphers.
It's wrong.
Wrong. It's just plain out wrong. Like they already fucked that up. Second of all, how do you have a Diet Coke version of the fucking morpher? It don't make no sense.
That's literally what I'm saying. Like they have,
but you know why? But sorry, you can finish.
It's bad enough that they go back to the well all the time, and how many chances have they done a morpher? The same Dino Buckler that we all love. Listen, I will always want to go like this whenever I hold anything in my hands, but it's just like, do I want to hold some fake? It looked like McDonald's could have made something better.
Like McDonald's came out with a morpher that looked better than that,
and that's what I'm saying, man. Like this shit is crazy. Like it's like, listen, it's like the reason why I at least am so critical when it comes to like how a toy line tries to introduce or just to present itself to the masses. And it's just like, obviously we love Power Rangers. And so when I see these examples, I'm just like, it just shows me that they don't really care all that much. They're just trying to make whatever's cheapest so that they can continue to in attempts to make profits off of the name brand. And it's just like, how many times, like how hard are y'all trying to milk this without trying to put in an actual ounce of proper care? Like we already started alluding to it. Tech was bringing up how like it's normal to outsource to other companies to make toys. So why is it that third parties are making better fucking figures?
Yeah,
it's like in-house. It's like if they have the option of making a $2 figure, but then they're gonna try to charge us $30 for it. It's like we've been around this rodeo so many times.
Y'all saw that's
how much it costs. 30?
No, I'm just taking a guess. But you already know.
Son,
you already know.
That $10 is too much for that.
$10 is too. Yo, but
they're $10. They are $10.
Okay, so
that's way too much. I just took a guess.
But here's where I stand on it. Right
here we go.
ahead.
He's about to defend it. Go ahead.
I don't think that the figures look good. Like some of them are okay. Like the Blade Blasters are all right. Like I'm just like looking at them right now.
The
Blade
blaster's all right.
looks
The blaster's
all
all right. I'll give it that. Yes.
Those helmets are kind of cheap. I remember
Trash.
that was that's
just
Toys
some
R Us
Halloween stuff.
The biggest takeaway to me again, and I was kind of saying this before, like these toys are clearly made for kids, right? That is fine in enough of itself. Like with it being Playmates, I kind of expected it to be worse than it actually is.
We all saw this coming.
Like, but that being said, like, why would kids be interested in these at all? Because this is this is like 30 years removed from the source material. Like most of these kids, even the kids who grew up with like parents who probably showed them the reruns, like those kids are probably out of their Power Rangers phase if they ever had one, because the Power Rangers that they probably were watching is over. It's like you'd basically be starting over and like weaning younger kids onto something they might not even know about, because these toys are probably going to come out before or right around whenever that like re-release of the show is.
I can answer that question for you though.
But so can I.
I can answer that question. Maybe my answer will be different from Uchi's, but if you go on YouTube Kids, Power Rangers is on there. So kids with their curiosity, they'll go on YouTube Kids, they'll see Power Rangers there, and Mighty Morphin is literally like if right there. I'm not gonna say front and center, but it's right there. So.
But is that a thing, or is that what kids are going to look for? Like, granted, I'm sure like they're going to try to steer advertising in that direction. But like, again, like even when and we're going to talk about this later, but even when they like do this re-release of the show, like I just can't imagine, because you're basically showing you're repackaging an old show to young kids who still grow up in this day and age, and they're still going to be watching like modern shows along with it, and they're going to see that this old show is like looks weird, and they're going to feel weird about it, like especially if they're in that like 5 to 7 age range. Like maybe if you're like 3 or 4 and impressionable, you might not know the difference. But
look at how the toy market is right now, though, right? We don't have a Toys R Us, we don't have a Toys. We don't have many toy stores. So if you go to like a Walmart or a Target, the toy sections are a lot more congested because they're smaller, right? They're department stores. So kids go through those fucking aisles to see what's on there, right? They might see, so hey, I remember watching this on YouTube, or hey, my mom or my dad has those toys. I want one too. Or quite frankly, you know what? Not for nothing. Like the characters look cool. I'm not saying the figures
they do.
Cool.
That's our bias,
they look cool. So for all we know, they say, you know what, this looks cool. This is red, or look, this is a black character, a yellow character, a pink character. Like the costumes look cool, and they're gonna be affordable, right? Because they're cheaply made. They're saving money on packaging and the material they use to actually create the toy. So I don't think it's gonna be. I think having it at that price point too, parents would be more willing to be able to buy it for their kids, as opposed to like a wrestling figure or something that costs significantly more. Like an average toy nowadays for a kid, like an action figure, is like $20 to $30. So if they have something like $10 to $15, I'm pretty sure a parent will be like, hey, no, you're not getting that toy, you're getting this instead.
So
I'm just saying, it could be a marketing play too.
The one thing I definitely want to add to all this, I feel like this is regurgitated, because this is, until they fucking realize it, like, I guess we're just gonna keep saying the same things. It literally comes down to how they handle the franchise. When they don't do anything, and then they still try to claim that, oh, we're still targeting kids. So then why are the 30-some-year-olds, aka all of us, and older and some a little younger, why are we the only ones that are barking? Why are we the only ones that are saying, hey, we're the ones that actually have money. We're the only ones that have a clue as to what we want to buy into. And yet they choose to say, nah. we're just gonna keep pretending like we know what's right, as I'm one of the executives, and we're just gonna continue to do the same old shit that doesn't really work, and then they're just gonna look at it and be like, I don't know why it's not working. Like, I don't know why it's not working. And I could tell you why. It's because they don't adapt to anything. Look at the surroundings. Look at Ninja Turtles. Do you think the Ninja Turtles has this fucking problem? No. You want to know why? Because the Turtles have adapted with the times as the times have changed, as they've evolved. Turtles is truly immortalized. Those motherfuckers, they never got to worry about nothing. And I love Ninja Turtles. So every time there's some new shit, I'm always down for it. Because the Turtles is always good, is always fun, always good time.
They're better at the reinvention, but also like they have like, you know, the animation's easier to get over in that kind of way.
Right, and that's literally what I was gonna get to. They literally they try to rehash what's already existed without making any sort of updates to it. And it's like, you can't even look at whatever video games we may have gotten. And like, literally, it was not until 2016 when Boom created a miracle, and it was something to look forward to in Power Rangers that was actual substance, that actually fed the more hardcore and more mature fan base that is literally the only thing left keeping this this whole franchise afloat. It's like, if they really want to claim that the target audience is kids and they want to make these cheapy looking freaking toys that McDonald's and Burger King could have did a better job with some fucking fries on the side, then I can tell you this right now, they have it backwards. Because anybody with half of a brain, okay, that had common sense would be like, okay, if we want to target kids, then what do we have to do? We have to make a cartoon. We have to make an animated series. We have to do things that coincide with what else is hot and what kids are actually eating up. You know, here's some shit that has never been said on this channel, probably anywhere else. If you want to target kids, where's the crossover with Bluey? Okay? Why is Power Rangers not fucking crossing over with all of these cartoon-ass characters?
Miss Rachel, let me stop. I'm joking.
See, you know. But that just proves my point. It's just like, if we wanted to truly see Power Rangers have that modern generation love, where it's like, then those kids grow up and then they end up turning like into like us and want more. It's like, you're not gonna get that. You're just gonna get us complaining all the time.
You know what I think they really need to do? Oh, okay. You know what I really think they need to do, and this kind of had to do with like the conversation. I think it was Tech who brought it up the other day in the chat. They need to bring back the unmorphed martial arts back, yo. Because that's the niche.
Oh, so I feel, just hire the Cobra Kai cast. Okay.
Yeah, but even outside of it, it's like I feel like one of the main appeals on why the OG series worked, besides the fact that you had these, you know, the Power Rangers being Power Rangers, right? The emphasis on martial arts and the morals that came from it made for good kids television, because you're teaching kids like the right things, but also you're showing them cool stuff. It was inspiring as it was cool to watch.
Correct.
And it came from the right place. And I'm not saying every season has to be martial arts based, because we know how the series works, but it's like, it makes it fun to watch and it's cool to watch, outside of just like, because when they're in the suits, it almost feels like a cheat code. But when you feel like the person you're seeing is actually doing it, like when you see Tommy like doing fucking 3 spin kicks in a row and stuff like that, you're like, yo, that dude is nice. Like, as a kid or adult, you know, the context. And again, I told you I was trying to show my girlfriend Always a Chance. The scenes with Adam where he's doing like he's doing all that martial art movie choreography that he's like so expert at doing, and it's just cool to see, like, regardless of the context of the episode, it's just like, yo, this dude is a good fighter.
Yep.
You know, and as a kid you appreciate it, as an adult you appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I feel like they, that's something that gets lost. But I feel like that's a niche. I only bring it back to the kids thing because I feel like it's a niche that's kind of missing right now, where it's like there isn't really anything that taps into that. And I think it's because they're afraid of like kids wanting to fight all the time and stuff. But again, they were afraid about that with us. And I think it's part of the risk, but it's also why it's like, when they teach martial arts, the show made a good point to be like, hey, martial arts is supposed to be used for self-defense. Don't use it this way. Don't use it this way. But use it as for discipline and blah, blah, blah. Like that was the moral, right? And then you got to keep that in the background. But it is showing these kids like 30-year-old episodes of a show really going to change their mind. But anyway, like I know Tech had a point he was going to make.
I had a few things, but like what you just said, like with the morals and stuff, like I didn't really notice it to this day, but like whenever like Bulk and Skull like talk shit to them and they did anything to them, they never once threw a punch at them. Never. Like they're always like dodging, or like if they ever did anything, they might like toss them away or something. Then they'll run into like like some pizza or some shit like that. But yeah, no, you're right. Like that is definitely a theme. But and I was just saying like a little bit of context if people were wondering. Like I just pulled up a random fight from what was it? I think it was like early season 2, like a Tommy and Kimberly fight.
Yeah, that was when they had the copies or whatever. Or one of the times they had.
Y'all talk about the stuff that I sent you. You don't want to give me credit for?
Oh, so that was Isaac. I forgot who
I sent. Well, you sent that too, but at first I sent one. I think it was the episode when they were like on a date or something like that, and then they were fighting the putties. But the point was, I was watching it on the Roku channel as usual, and I was watching. I was like, man. This fight is OD. Because Tommy did like 4 spin kicks in a row, and I was like, Jesus Christ,
that's my guy.
Crazy.
He's the best.
And I recorded it, and it's funny because like you're even saying that, and like I recorded it, I sent it to you guys, and then like later I sent it to my friends that don't know shit about Power Rangers. I mean a little bit, but like as casual as you can be. And like even they were like, yo, that shit was crazy.
Yeah, like funny enough, I'm gonna show you this. I sent this to Ultimizer today. I'm gonna pull up my Instagram message real quick, and I'll just show you guys on the camera real quick. I sent this to Ultimizer today. 10 hours ago.
Shout out to Ultimizer.
Yeah, shout outs.
Yeah.
Yo, that's a great fight.
I love I sent them this, you know what I'm saying?
Bro.
Because people forget that Zach used to be sparring with people. Zach had hair.
Come on, man.
I sent it to Ultimizer today, funny enough.
I can hear the music too.
Yeah.
With Zach on the screen. Ding, 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 ding.
But, originally, what I was gonna say to your point, Uchi, about their crossovers, like think about what crossovers they have had recently, right? Like that I can think of. Like they had the Street Fighter one, that's not recently, but like years ago, and then they had like the Cobra Kai one.
Still kind of a miracle, but
like even just saying those, as much as we like those, like who are those appealing to?
Us.
People that are our age that already like this stuff.
Literally, like that's the whole thing. Oh my god, it's like
so
yelling at a wall, bro.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it's funny. But
so does this segue into more talk about the new version?
Oh yeah, if you guys want to segue into this next part so we can get the fuck out of these toys, because the next McDonald's Burger King joke I have, I'm gonna throw myself out the window. All right, so yeah, we could definitely move on to what is it, the AI rescale? Or
there's not much to say. It's just this was announced when they announced the New York Toy Fair. It was just a small thing. They said that Mighty Morphin Power Rangers will re-air this coming July on Netflix, utilizing AI to enhance the original show. While only the first season is locked, the goal is to do all 3 seasons of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers to coincide with toy offerings from Playmates. And there's like small things here and there,
but they couldn't reimagine the damn figures. Okay, whatever. Like in a good way, right? That needs some AI enhancing.
They would have 6 fingers and shit.
I'm sick and tired of this shit. Why is always gotta be Mighty Morphin? Why? We already had a remake of Mighty Morphin. A reimagining.
Mighty Morphin is the G1 of Power Rangers.
I do not give a fuck. There is such thing.
I agree with you. I agree with you, but it's just like the same way that in Transformers they keep going back to the well. It's because they can't really think of how to get everything else over. It's the same thing,
man. To be honest, I'm not even really that offended by this. Like, if it ends up looking good, I am completely okay with it.
If it,
Yeah,
listen,
My only thing
if it
is,
does, yeah.
The thing
But
is, though,
my-
right? With that type of show, though, you say if it ends up looking good, that show took place in the 90s. So right, even them at the school, it's not like it's modernized episodes, right? Where they have cell phones and shit. You can AI enhance it, but it should not look that good.
It's not gonna look that much better.
At the time, nothing looked that good. It's not gonna make any sense.
You know what I want though? Even this small change, right? If they could at least add the music to the first like half of season 1, that would be OD.
You know what?
Wait. So you want more pandering to us? Is literally what you just said.
Let's be real here, though, guys.
Just get some of that Ron Wasserman.
Let's be real. We've all watched Mighty Morphin. We've all watched Mighty Morphin, right? We even did rewatches. I'm pretty sure all of us have done a rewatch at one point within the last couple of years. Are we really gonna be rewatching it for like a third or fourth time?
I'm not gonna watch
all those episodes.
I'll watch a few.
I want to
see. You watch a few, right? But nah, listen, I'm not rewatching that whole.
But for real,
if it looks great, a lot better, I'd probably watch.
But the beginning of Mighty Morphin is kind of rough.
It's a mess.
It's like Mighty Morphin doesn't hit its stride until Green with Evil around that time. Yeah. Like after that, then eventually shortly after, once they get to the Ron Wasserman stuff, I think so.
What do you mean?
I disagree. It gets better after that.
It gets better.
It gets better because it starts catching its stride. Son, I'm not saying the first episode because the first episode is whatever. But episode 2, we already got people running hands. That's all you need.
Yeah, you do. But some of those early fight scenes were not good.
Even just like the structure of the episode, it'll be like weird stuff. Like even in the first episode, you remember like they were fighting the putties in the desert, and they were like, "Oh yeah, go teleport to the city real quick," and it would be like weird stuff.
Yeah, it was like
listen, Billy couldn't fight in the beginning.
Yeah,
you know,
but that's fine. That's
the
fine.
reason it got better was because they got more experience. Yeah. So it made sense. You want to talk about context, right, Ted?
That's true.
There's the context. They literally were just put in this position randomly, no time to practice or train or anything.
That's
true. But even the way that the fights were,
but
even if like if you watch like just the editing wise, and I don't think the AI version is going to fix this, but there was like one fight I remember that they were in like a park, and it was like they did this whole like this weird slow-mo effect where you could barely see what the hell was happening, and it was like they were trying to make it look fancy, but it's just 90s. Like it was weird. It was like, yo, this fight kind of sucked. But again, they eventually got there.
Yeah, in my opinion, I think Mighty Morphin is kind of rough until when Tommy first leaves, when he loses his power. I think like Green Candles when it gets good, and then from then on,
because then the story, started getting like
that's my opinion. I think I like Mighty Morphin in general. I love Mighty Morphin. But I'm saying Green Candle on is when it's like actually good. Like I'm like, okay, this is like prime, like early, like
that's when they started getting into their storytelling bag.
Peak Mighty Morphin to me. I say this all the time.
I agree. So yeah, I mean, as someone who naturally likes to see older pieces of media get like restored or remastered in some way, like when I heard about this, when I think when you guys like first shared the news in our group chat, like, oh, you guys see this? Of course, my first initial reaction is an eye roll, right? Because I'm like, oh, okay, like Mighty Morphin again. They're, whatever. I'm not gonna repeat myself, but it honestly has me interested because I want to see if whatever filtering or whatever methods that they have, because I was literally just talking to Tech about this shit today. I was like, bro, is there any upscaled, remastered Mighty Morphin? Okay, because when I last watched it, the Netflix versions, bro, that video source was warped. It was I was watching it shit with like underwater goggle fucking like filter on. Like VR. I don't understand. And I like even back when I watched it the first time, I'm like, man, I don't think that was there. Like when I watched this shit on TV back in the day. So it's like I don't know what happened to like the source footage or whatever it is, like the masters. I have no idea. I just hope for the sake of all things good in Zordon that they actually treat this remaster, this AI upscale, with proper respect And because if they're gonna really go back and do like another rehashing, not even a reboot, not an animated, no. They're gonna take the old ass 93 episodes, and they're just gonna try to make them polished. They're gonna take a duster and go like this and put it out on fucking TV. I really hope. But again, is this going to get kids to want to actually watch it? Probably not.
I mean, look, we need some AI enhancement on JD's camera. I'm just saying.
My camera's
I don't know
good
if
now.
this means anything, but in that same article, I forgot to mention this earlier, but in that same article I was talking about with about the licensing, they had a short segment about the AI part. It said Playmates has also brought on an expert to restore the series' 145 episodes, the first 60 which are expected to be completed within 30 days. The content will launch on Netflix and Ninja Kids TV YouTube channel in June.
Who the hell is
I just thought that was kind of weird.
Kids.
I looked that up and I was like,
what the hell is that?
Okay, wait.
Is that a foreign thing?
It sounds like it. It sounds like it.
Yeah, they're probably going on Twitter and asking Grog just to enhance this shit at this point.
So I don't. Yeah, like I guess it's just one guy doing it. I mean, it says an expert. I don't know who Eronian is.
It's like the CFO.
Who the fuck is Ninja Kids? So this is gonna be bothering me for
I looked it up. It was like some family YouTube channel.
I'm gonna look it up right now. Ninja Kids, is it Big Boom AJ and Big Justice? Like,
Ninja Kids.
Yo, you got the boom.
Exactly. It was and they had a couple a bunch of cosplay parody videos, and I was like, did they mean the same channel? Is this?
I hope
not. I just looked up Ninja Kids.
Yeah.
Oh, Ninja Kids Power Rangers has a. Oh my son!
I have no idea what any of that means. I don't know.
Dog,
but that's what the article says.
I'm gonna show you the Google results page for Ninja Kids Power Rangers. Oh my gosh! I'm putting it right here. This is the Google search. Look at this. Look at this. Oh my god.
Oh no.
Nah.
I know what this is. I've seen this before.
There's no way.
Nah.
So I have no idea what any of that means, but that's what this article said. Like, if you guys look at the article I sent you, that's what it says.
Wait. So wait. You're telling me that the remastered AI upscale is going on that channel?
Yeah, I guess, and Netflix.
Rest in peace, dog. That's it.
So wait a minute. How many of the subscribers does this channel have?
It has a decent amount. I was looking at.
I don't even want, honestly. Yeah, you look at it because I don't want to click it and then my algorithm gets all fucked up.
I'll check right now. I'm gonna go right. I'll take this one for the team.
Thank you.
That shit has. I got you right now. Hold on. This is Ninja Kids TV. Here we go. This has 23.3 million.
And that's why. There you go.
Yeah.
That is why they're gonna put it on the channel. So you know what? Good for them, because maybe this is how we get a little bit of a boom in interest to the actual demographic that they're actually supposedly apparently trying to target. Because literally, you know what? And listen, people that watch that might come across this video, they're probably gonna think, oh, these guys are just a bunch of haters, they're just complaining. No. We love this shit too much, and that's why we're fucking mad all the time. But when I tell you, I know how to separate, and I know how to be like, oh, that's why I asked, how many subscribers does that channel have? You telling me 23 million? Why the fuck? Why did they wait this long? How come they didn't put a freaking animated shit, a cartoon right there 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5? Like, what? Why now? But whatever. Late to the party, I guess, right? Better late than never at all. But, you know, here's one thing that's guaranteed. We're going to see brand new AI upscale Power Rangers on Ninja Kids TV before we see Legend of the White Dragon. You heard it here first on fucking Power Rangers Academia.
No, for a channel that has 23.3 million subscribers, how the fuck am I just hearing about Ninja Kids TV?
Yo, fact.
I need a double chocolate cookie after this, yo. Son, I can't believe what I just saw. I learned a lot within the last 5 minutes. This is actually crazy.
But Isaac, the reason why you've never heard of it is because they don't target us.
Clearly,
that's true.
Ninja Kids TV, yo, 23.3 million subscribers. That's a Mr. B shit.
Exactly.
Yo, this is crazy.
Yeah, dude. Like, look, I'm not even trying to be spiteful. I'm not even trying to be petty. The fact that in June, you said June, right, Tech? In June.
Best month, by the way, guys.
This article was posted on March 3rd,
right there, Uchi.
And it said 30 days. So yeah, I'd imagine
best month. Where the bell at?
April.
That's what. Oh yeah, that's right. That's my birthday month right there.
Yeah,
so look,
bell it up.
So here we go. Listen.
There we go.
In June, okay. I'll tell you this right now. Power Rangers exclusive, Power Rangers Academia exclusive right now. I will react to this shit off their channel.
Yo,
I will react
that'd
to
be
it.
funny as hell.
It says on the actual. So this is conflicting stuff. My bad. So this article says in 30 days, but the article that has the one on New York Toy Fair, they officially said July.
Okay, that's okay. So in July, it doesn't matter.
So July.
It's still gonna happen before Legend of the White Dragon gets into our possession. So that my shit still stands. So hey, listen,
yo, they have a whole like season of Power Rangers Ninja Z, which is the kids from the Ninja Kids TV channel, and they actually have like their own version of Power Rangers on here. High production and everything.
Check it out, man.
Dating all the way back from 2020.
There's some real fans, man.
They probably, dude, during the pandemic. These are pandemic kids.
Oh my god,
they were smart with their time.
They did a better job than Hasbro. That is actually crazy. Yo, Ninja Kids TV, yo, let me find out, yo, that they the truth.
Right. Let me find. Hey, you know what? Listen, I might have to start reacting to their shit sooner. I might have to.
Yo, Tech, I want to thank you so much for showing me this.
Yeah, right, yo. Shout outs to Tech, bro.
Yeah, shout outs to Tech, my favorite member of Power Rangers Academia. Yo, this is why. This right here is why. Man just knows. Listen, he got everything. He got all the tech.
Hey,
literally all the tech.
Gotta read sometimes. That's all.
Yeah, hey, it is. Sometimes you gotta read. All
reading
right.
is fundamental.
That's
we don't do the. He does the reading, so we don't have to.
Yeah, I do. I do the reading, so y'all don't got to.
Exactly. I don't want to.
That is, dude. That should be on a T-shirt. If we ever had merch. Okay, so shall we move on from this AI remaster to Rita's Revenge? Final thoughts.
Yeah.
Man.
Cool me.
Okay.
Man.
Okay. So here's the thing, guys. For those that don't know, we all here at Power Rangers Academia had the privilege of figuring out on our own how to play a game that released unfinished. Yeah. But we made it work. We played it through from start to finish. And there were moments where we had a lot of fun. There were times where we were literally in our bag in the moment. We were just like, yo, S rank game? S tier game? Hold on. Don't let us find out.
We definitely said that at least once.
Yeah, at least one time.
Oh, I know, I did.
I know. I feel like I was up there.
Yeah, listen, but see, and that is the joy of playing a video game with your homies. When everyone's together, you know, whether it's through Parsec or whether we're all on the actual couch together, it was an experience, to say the least.
It was new toy syndrome. That's what it was.
And that's a perfect way to put it. It was the shiny new toy. You just got it. It was something that you were looking forward to for a very long time. And I will be someone that I openly admit all this stuff. When that game first got released, as far as the trailer goes, like, first of all, it came out of nowhere.
The Microsoft event.
Yeah, like no one knew.
That was crazy. Yeah.
No one knew this was coming. I was live streaming this and doing a live reaction, and I was in complete denial to the point of actual tears. I held it all back because I was like, no. I was rejecting of it the entire time. You could go watch the video back if you don't believe me. I was literally like, I was fighting my excitement because I have lived, breathed Power Rangers ever since a very, very, very young age. And to see it in a beat 'em up style and the way it looked, and it came, of course, off of the success of Shredder's Revenge, because we all know how how godlike that completed game was.
Yep.
Then it's like the first thing I said after Shredder's Revenge was, man, I hope they do this for Power Rangers. Granted, it wasn't .emu, but still, we did get a Power Rangers beat 'em up in the modern era. And man, they had us.
Yeah.
And then the further we got into the game, and the controls started being wonky, and some of the Zord fights was just like, damn, like
you can't tell what's happening.
Like there was a lot of things that just didn't really go.
Isaac couldn't get a point for us.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. So all in all, it was a very missed opportunity, despite us almost feeling like that this was going to be like a high-rated game. Unfortunately, it just ended up being one of those forgettable ones that to the point where, and again, accountability, I'm pretty sure we recorded a thoughts, but we're doing it again. And I forgot completely about the video, and it never came up on the channel. So
I want to make it very, very clear: when Uchi is referring to us, he is referring to himself, Tech, and JD, not me. Because as soon as I touched the game, right, and I saw that my characters don't have any special unique moves, I'm like, there is no way that the battle system in the combat in Mega Battle was better. So as soon as
that's crazy.
As soon as I got to play, first of all, the stages were short. The combat sucked. There was nothing unique about it. Every character played the same. The only thing that was different was their ultimate move.
Yep.
Well, I know Isaac said that it was with you guys on that, but in real talk, I had the same concern when because they were not showing that game a lot. And then they showed it, I think it was like at a PAX or something.
Yeah.
And when I was watching the footage, I was like, every character has the same moveset. And I was hoping it was just because it was still early and that there'd be more like unique stuff. Because I remember it was like a live stream or something. And like I saw people in the chat like asking about it. And I kind of had it in my head at that point that it was going to be like, oh, this is going to be a little less fleshed out than Turtles was. Like I
was avoiding watching gameplay.
I avoided it completely.
Not for that reason, but yeah, because I just don't like being spoiled on stuff. I watched the first trailer and then I was like, I'm not watching anymore.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I should have done it. I mean, even then, like, don't get me wrong. The first time I saw gameplay, I'm like, oh, this song is fire.
I mean, it's still fun.
But as soon as I got to actually move around with Jason, I'm like, what is this, man? Like, it's gonna be okay. I said this game is probably not gonna be better than okay. It's just gonna be okay. I think, and we'll get that. We'll get to this when we talk about the video game tier list. Whenever we get to that.
Oh man!
But to me, a complete Power Rangers game, you got to get, civilians. Just to complete, you got to get them in civilian form.
That's the crazy part, because I think we were all disappointed by that.
Right?
As soon as we started
the civilian shit is so
they show them in the juice bar.
They start the level off.
They start the level off and then they
morph.
You know how
they show it. It had all the proper elements of a complete Power Rangers game, but they still managed to mess it up because where it matters in the actual gameplay, the mechanics, they messed it up. This could have been one of the greatest Power Rangers games of all time.
That is facts, dude.
That's not even sure whether it's because they got lazy, because they were being rushed, or maybe because
I think it was the rush.
That's it right there.
Because I do think that they cared, the devs. But
they did. I think that's all it was. I think that game was rushed. It's very obvious. It's not even like a surprise. It's not even like a secret. That game we didn't even have online.
We did not. We had to literally use our own means to just play all together as it should have been the first playthrough. But
for whatever reason, for whatever reason.
I mean, I can, but I don't know what was going on with that. But like you guys saw, they had the whole, I forgot what it was called, but like Hasbro's doing the whole thing with all their IPs, and they're trying to come out with more games. I forgot what it was called.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and they're doing that, and I think there's probably a time frame of when they wanted each one to come out. Probably because they don't want to step on their own toes.
Right.
You know, come out with a G.I. Joe game and a Power Rangers game at the same time, or come out with a Transformers game and a, you know, G.I. Joe game at the same time. So they probably gave them a time frame. Like, all right, you got to come out with this game before the end of 2024. And I just don't think they had enough time to finish it. So, and they seem like, I know Limited Run Games made this game, and they don't, from what I understand, they don't make a lot of games. I know they mainly do, like, they do remasters, they do ports, but from what I saw on their, like, looking through their history, they don't make a lot of games. So I don't know if that's it. Like, they just didn't, maybe they took on more than they could chew. They bit off more than they could chew. Like, they took on, you know, like something that they wouldn't be able to. I think like in the time frame, they probably just couldn't get everything they wanted to do all in.
Yeah.
So that's what I think.
Yeah. Was it the worst game ever? No, it was released
visually
at the wrong
that game
time.
is still really cool. Like, I'll definitely, like, giving them the Megazord stuff, even though the Megazord
it was kind of ambitious in that way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, and the Zords,
great word.
The Zord stuff was cool. That was cool as hell. And like the motorcycle segments, even though the controls are kind of shitty and like it didn't feel great, like it still looked cool. And it was one of those things, like when we had the first segment like that, we were all going crazy. We were like, like a roller coaster, like we all going crazy.
We were freaking out.
Yo, I told y'all, first of all, I was carrying the first segment. Let's not forget. Even while me carrying. I still know. So I still, you know, has some
I'm gonna
flaws.
okay. You know what? I'm gonna have to actually go back and release the footage of that entire playthrough.
Release the footage.
Yeah, like I'll have to eventually make, because I actually saved the video because it was 2 streams. It was literally just the first time and then the second time and then
the game was short.
Right.
But yeah, like in my opinion, like I'm already like. It sucks to say because like I'm actually like kind of an old head when it comes to video games. Like my favorite genre is platformers, and like
those are fun.
I love beat 'em ups too.
Same.
But like to be completely honest though, I'm not a huge arcade beat 'em up fan. Like I'll play them, but like my thing with those, they always get repetitive.
Yeah,
and after a while, like maybe like halfway through the game, like kind of gets boring to me. So like I'm kind of that's why I like when I do like platformers, I like ones that incorporate platforming as well. I mean, sorry, not platforming. When I do like beat 'em ups, they're ones that incorporate platforming as well. Like one of my favorite games, like Beautiful Joe. Like that's a beat 'em up game that also has platforming that keeps it fresh. It makes it more fun. I mean, even like the Super Nintendo Power Ranger games. That's it's kind of funny. Like that's peak. There's not a lot of games like that. Like that are beat 'em ups / platformers. I mean, they kind of are, but like not specifically.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yes. I forgot the Super Nintendo Mighty Morphin game had
platformers as well.
It had some platforming to it, yeah.
Because
specifically the first one.
Yeah.
Like the second one,
that's the one where you morph. You can like you have civilian parts and yeah.
You know, one of the key points is that how does a Super Nintendo version of a beat 'em up Power Ranger game have the one thing that makes it stand out and actually provide you the full experience of what it would be like to play as a Power Ranger game? It's like Power Ranger, man, I hate breaking it down to this kind of a level because it just makes me more aware of the lack of thought process that goes into anything because people that write for comics, they got it. They got the whole picture and then some, and that's why I own every single issue. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But then it's like when they come with the games, bro, it's like, how do they miss out on the one of the key elements that makes Power Rangers Power Rangers? It's
what differentiates Power Rangers from just a normal superhero.
Yes. It's like they have something that others don't. Like Ninja Turtles are always Ninja Turtles through and through. They'll have their weapons. They might look a little different depending on the version, but for the majority of the time, that's what you get. Power Rangers, they're human beings. They know karate. They can fight. So in the said show, they are seen several times fighting as their human civilian forms. And then that's when, if they have to, should they need to get to that level, it's morphin time. Come on. Like this is crazy that I have to spell this out in 2025. That a freaking game, a series of games in the 90s did it, but we can't do it. As a matter of fact, wait a minute. Mega Battle did it. We got to move on because I'm about to flip.
That's
nice.
nice.
I wish
Ultimately, yeah.
so,
but the features. So because I know that they had like 2 updates, and like the updates that did come out, I think they have like upgradable rangers now, so you can increase their stats.
But same moves.
Same moves, I believe.
Okay.
But then they have like modifiers like gravity, speed.
Fake
so
stuff.
I don't know how. Yeah, it's basically just like bonuses.
It's fake shit. That's what the fuck they added.
They added the power blaster, so it's like a group special attack thing, which is pretty cool.
Oh, no, that's fire.
They added Uchi, like basically time button press. So it's
maybe it's worth the cost of admission now. But when we played it, it felt like we played the beta version of the game.
Yeah, it's like that. Like we played we basically like early access tested that shit.
But now we have to pay for
and
it.
I think they still like because there's another update in spring that still adds the team of 6 playable characters, and it says 6 separate consoles. I don't know if that means crossplay, but it probably finally adds the online multiplayer, but in spring, or which I
there's
guess
no reason to go back to playing that game.
There is
like even with these additions.
Like because if I do play it again, and like I kind of do, but if I do play it again, it'll be with like friends in person, like some of my other friends who are just like the ones I played like Ninja Turtles.
Nothing against y'all,
and most
nothing
ironic,
against y'all. Yeah. But I really do feel like I would have had more fun playing that game if it was by myself.
Oh, I see what you mean.
No, I know exactly.
Especially during the motorcycle part
because
and the Zord fight.
It was a lot going on.
It was just too much. You're keeping track of too much shit at once.
Like and that's obviously all over the place. Yeah.
The most ironic part about the replayability of that game is that when you beat it, you get Tommy, but
and then you don't.
He is literally the same as every other character.
Like because we tried him for like 2 seconds and like he's just the same shit. Like
the only cool thing about that I can say is that they are coming out with the collector's edition.
Yeah,
I don't know if any of you guys got it, but I did.
You know what? I actually forgot that I ordered it. I actually have a pre-order for it.
Sure as hell did not. Now, one thing they did do right in that, right? Because there was a lack of original music in that game, right? By original, I mean like stuff from the show. But Bulk & Skull's theme was there. I'm like, you know what? To me, that's the highlight.
Wait, hold on. I wanna talk about that for a second because they blue balled us from the very beginning with that right there. It's like, wait a minute, Bulk and Skull have their theme in this game? Oh my God, we're gonna get every theme in this game. And then right when the Tommy part comes in, I was expecting to hear the Go Green Ranger Go theme, and guess what the fuck we didn't hear? It's like, are you kidding me? It's like, why can you do Bulk and Skull's theme, but then you asked us out on everything else? That it's like, where was 541? Where was
crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Fight and
Need a Hero.
Where was any of those tracks? But but let's go back to the well some more and keep fucking dropping the ball. Like, dude, this is why I truly think it's like they don't even want to hire people like us because we care too much, and they want people that are just they're just disconnected enough to be like, okay, we'll hire these guys because it's like they're fans, but they don't care.
Those are some of the worst boss fights I've played in a Power Rangers game.
They were really annoying for sure.
It's not. It's just the design of the their attacks and the way their patterns and stuff. It was just like, to me, it just wasn't fun fighting them at all.
Yeah, I think maybe they could have had one like that, but they could have definitely, if they had like a different type of boss fight each one, that would have been cool.
So like the original Super Nintendo game, so like the bosses, to me, I think that was the best done like Power Rangers bosses ever. And like you got the floating head, with that skeleton motherfucker who was, I think he was in this game. I could be wrong, but then you had the that Viking motherfucker who did the teleporting, and then you had the eye monster. I forget their names.
I don't remember the names either.
Very unique. You know, very unique. Great design.
Memorable villains.
You know, the one in the city where you have to, you know, where you're how do I say, where you're like I feel like these boss fights were more like if I compare it to anything, it was more like Turtles in Time. Turtles in Time was great, but it was more of a dumbed down version of those fights, because you know, you're just on the field, you know, you're looking for the pattern, you know, you have a lot of
that's
to move.
That's the thing though, because the Super Nintendo one was a platform, so you add platform elements in it. Like the one, I forget the name of the one that's the like the genie that was in the Zach Happy Birthday Zach episode. I forgot his name.
That was the monster in the city. In the city,
his boss fight was cool because he kept teleporting around the stage. You had to find out which one you had to put like that.
Three platforms. You know, you can cheese them. That was great. And then you had the one with the chain, the green motherfucker with the chain.
Oh yeah,
he was in a cave level. Like, you know, I feel like the enemies fit the stages in this game. Not really so much. It's like almost thrown in there, but Turtles in Times did it better because again, it did fit. Like, you know, you're going back, you know, with the shredder, and then you fight the dinosaurs. You fight the I forgot the name of those two. You know, the rhinoceros.
Rocksteady Bebop.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, and the shit, like, you know, it makes sense here. Not really. It's like, why is this boss here?
Yeah,
you know, it doesn't make sense.
So do we want to go over the physical editions contents before we give like our final rating and of Rita's Rewind before we like completely?
I haven't even looked at them. I have my final rating, but I haven't looked at them. So if you guys want to talk about it, look, teach me something.
Do you want to talk about Uchi? You can just go through it. No,
I don't care about that game.
All right, so let's see here. I have this. It's funny because it comes from Atari. You know, so okay, side note about this. When I got the alert, like fucking way after the fact, and it's like, oh, your order from Atari is processed. I'm like, Atari?
Atari, yeah. Like, what game? What did I get from them?
What the fuck did I get from them? Okay, so basically, it says right here off of their website, defeat Robo Rita and save the day in this epic beat 'em up. Available on the PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch in both a standard and deluxe edition. Deluxe edition includes a steelbook, poster, a lenticular postcard, and 6 collectible Power Ranger trading cards. And they will ship basically at the end of May 30th of this year.
Okay.
So,
very late.
Yeah, very late. The steelbook, I will say, I definitely appreciate the fact that they got the Dragon Dagger on there. The cards look kind of cool. It's basically just like in-game art of all 6 of the Power Rangers. The cover art looks cool on the cover of the PS5 version that they got right here.
Cover. Looks great.
Yeah, the collector's box, like, you know, like for what it is, and I mean for the price, it's kind of fair. It's like $35. It's probably
not gonna open it, honestly, because I'm not gonna play the game again.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be there.
That's the thing though. Like when it comes to like collector's editions, like I'm always like mixed. It's like I want to display this shit because it's clearly coming with extra stuff, but it's like, do I actually open it? Or I don't know. So it's like,
I mean, if you know it's not gonna hold its value, you better off just opening it.
I didn't mean like that. I mean, I'm gonna open it. I'm just not gonna put the game in my console.
Oh, true. Yeah. I already got that shit digital on Steam anyway. So
usually like, collector's edition for something like this doesn't hold well in value, so just open it. Especially $35. It's not like the most you'll probably get for it at one point is probably $50 from a diehard fan.
Yeah, honestly, this is probably gonna be the most inexpensive deluxe collector's edition I've ever gotten, and I'm pretty sure, like I got the Shredder's Revenge collector's edition. That was a whoo. They gave you a lot of stuff in that one. That was
unlike the Sparking Zero special edition that you ordered. I think you're actually gonna get this on time.
Wait, did I even get that? I don't think I.
It still hasn't even showed up. Look at that, yo, crazy.
No, because
crazy.
No, I actually no. So what happened was I didn't even get the I just ended up getting like the digital deluxe. I didn't even bother getting like the big collector box.
Oh yeah, because it was just hard to get. Yeah,
exactly.
I know something you ordered was back ordered and you were never gonna get it. You were mad. Oh, I think it was your Spider-Man.
Nah, son, let me tell you
Spider-Man
something.
2?
When it comes down to Spider-Man and PlayStation, for some weird reason, the gods above made sure that I was able to lock it in. And like literally, I didn't have to go through no scalpers, none of that shit. It was just like, oh, Uchi's in line, boom, there you go. Got it.
There was something you wanted.
Right there.
There was something you wanted, and you had to wait a while. So maybe it was the Sparking Zero. Maybe it wasn't the Spider-Man.
I don't know.
But it was something.
Yeah, I don't know. But so yeah, as far as rating goes, out of 10, for Power Rangers Rita's Rewind, I will probably gonna go with like a 5. If I'm being honest. 5 out of 10.
Wow, I'm surprised. I'm honestly that's actually surprised. I thought you were gonna go higher.
No.
Knowing Uchi's takes, I'm surprised.
Hey, I knew that was coming. I knew he was gonna say that shit. He's like, oh, everyone thinks I rate shit too high. Listen, I'm fair. I'm fair and realistic. 5 out of 10.
I'm glad you came to your senses. I'm gonna give it a 6.2 out of 10.
6.2.
That's so
you get to we're doing like
because like I said, yo, it had all the right elements. It was just the gameplay sucked that much that it took off like 3 points. Like if it was tuned up and the characters were unique, we were looking at a top 5 contender.
And if we had unmore fights,
top 3 contender.
and if we had actual controls that worked during the Zord shits,
still top 3 contender.
And online,
Super Nintendo, or even Legacy Wars, but you know.
Yeah. All right, JD.
How the gameplay in Legacy Wars better than Reader's Rewind? Yo, that's a
get out of here.
Yeah, I would say right now I'm like at a 6 because like the game, it was fun. Like I feel like it was kind of what I was expecting it to be, but even then I was still disappointed by the lack of features and like there was no level ups, and you know that, well, now there is, but at the time that we played it, and I did kind of find it annoying how the Zord stuff got really chaotic at the end, like in a bad way. But you know, it's still like, obviously it's no Shredder's Revenge. I still think I liked it more than, is Mega Battle the last like 2D one that had like the weird art style or whatever? I think it's better than that, but only just barely. Like just in terms of like the full package. And then like I guess something we didn't really bring up, but the fact that they're using the once and always, like,
the story was not unique. Yeah,
it didn't go far enough with it. It's like it used it as its opening premise, but that's it. Like there's no Tech, you're muted, I think.
Yeah, wait, Tech, you're muted. Tech, you're muted.
Tech is muted.
You're muted. You're
oh shit.
He was out and nobody heard it.
He was going in.
You know, I'm gonna tell you this right now about Mega Battle, JD. While Tech gets his audio fixed. Mega Battle gameplay was better. I understand why you like it more, but I really do personally feel, from people who reviewed the game, people who played the game and had criticism to say about the game, I just personally think that people found the game too hard because it's not an easy game. You cannot adjust difficulty in that game.
I will say it's been a long time since I played it, so it might be better than what I'm remembering. But I just remember at the time, like I played through it in one day, I had fun with it, but it had some issues, and I just was like, I just never played it again after that. But mechanically, I wouldn't be surprised if it was deeper than
it was.
Because this was just like, you
had actual combos. The characters had different moves. You could switch between, the original set of Rangers and the next set of Rangers. The Rocky.
You could morph, right? Couldn't you?
You can. Yeah, you can. You have the option to finish the level in their civilian form or Ranger form. You're obviously nerfing yourself, keeping yourself a civilian.
Yeah, that's right.
But you have to get enough energy for you to morph.
Check.
But you're able to use your own weapons too.
Okay, cool.
So shout out to Mega Battle. I understand got low reviews.
I never played Mega
Battle. On game though, and you can't. It's delisted now, so
that's crazy. I can't even play it.
I have to own it.
Xbox.
Yeah, I have it on PS4. I didn't download it.
Do a playthrough one day in person. Yeah. Next time we're all in person.
Because that's the only way you can freaking play that shit too.
Yeah.
Funny enough.
That's another thing too. We can't parsec it or anything. But shout out to Mega Battle, guys.
what I was saying earlier.
Yeah, you was fucking going in.
Was the whole thing like you were talking about the story, right? How like disappointed it was. I was like, that story was just to fool people. Like the premise of the story, it was just to be
like they make you think like, oh, it's like a sequel to Once and Always. No, it's
and like this is how you bring in the real Power Rangers fans to let them care. But I don't know. Me personally, I feel similar to everybody else. I mean, like I'd say like a 6.5.
Wow, I'm surprised I'm the lowest one. That's crazy.
I'm surprised too. I thought Uchi was gonna give it like a 7. To be quite
I at
honest
least
with you.
appreciate like. I'm a big aesthetics person, and like I will definitely give it points for that because I think that it's a beautiful game.
That is
like,
true.
The sprites do look good. The three, even though like the 3D segments they aren't always fun to play, like they at least look good. And like the Megazord, it is like cool. Like you were even freaking out about like the first Megazord segment, and like that shit looked fire. Like
it was.
That was fire.
It had some good music.
Like,
yes.
Yo, when this dude tech dodged for the first time, this dude was hyped up.
He was like,
I was.
It was weaving.
But yeah, I mean, like I'll at least give it points for that. Like I really appreciate that. And like the music was pretty solid, even though it didn't have all the music we wanted. Like
I agree. The music was fine.
I'm gonna have to give it a 6 then. Because 5 just
listen, your first score is what you gotta let it rock. You gotta let it rock.
Because like that's the thing about Mega Battle. Like as even though Isaac thinks it's better, I didn't even touch that game when it came out because it was so ugly. Like I couldn't even bring myself to play it. I couldn't bring myself to play it. It was ugly as hell. So like
I looked at it as unique. That's why I didn't really like. I didn't think it looked ugly.
Disgusting.
Like I thought it was just. Son, I thought it was just funny. Like it was a funny take. It was unique. Like that's all it is.
Disgusting.
Like this right here was what 16-bit sprites. Like okay, whatever. This right here, at least you could tell it was like hand drawn or something. Like
this was hand drawn. Don't mean it look good. I don't know.
It don't have to look good.
I feel like it's easier to make sprites look good than hand drawn. Because you have to go into effort.
Like
I'd even go as far to say I didn't love the hand drawn stuff in the intro for this game. I thought some of those looked kind of weird, but I mean it is what it is. But
listen,
I don't know.
You can't say. Listen, you can say whatever the fuck you want about Mega Battle's art style. That shit's still better than Ninja Kids TV.
How do we get back to that? All right, that means we need to move on.
Well, yeah, I mean that game was it was a bit disappointing. It could have been so much better.
You know what? I'm gonna stream it for the people. Next time I go live, probably tomorrow, I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna after Pokemon Go.
Oh yeah, tomorrow isn't tomorrow.
Throw it down there tomorrow. Yep.
I've noticed that you like to indulge every now and then in some Mega Battle. It's like one of your rare games that you play, but you do play it. I feel like at least once a year.
Super Nintendo version. I play the Super Nintendo version more than like if I do go back, like if I play a Power Rangers game that's not Battle for the Grid, I'll play the Super Nintendo version, the first one.
Yeah.
No, but I've seen you play Mega Battle before, though, is what I'm saying. Like on your stream. That
happened once. I think I only played once or twice, maybe. Actually, I remember. I remember I was streaming Mega Battle.
Yeah, see? Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
Got a dive kick.
And the crazy part, too, is that like the Super Nintendo game is the only game I've ever seen sped run.
That's
like they actually had it at GDQ recently.
I didn't know.
Because it's peak.
It's such a good game. Like there's actually a speedrun community for that game.
It's crazy how I could beat that game in 25 minutes, and I still have a more fun time than when we just finished playing with Reader's Rewind.
I gotta learn how to speedrun that shit. I didn't know you could speedrun Mighty Morphin Power Rangers
when it happened.
Listen, as far as
you did post it.
As far as retro games go, I'm still struggling to find a copy of the Fighting Edition in person. Any retro game store I go to, that's the only game I'm looking for.
That's Omega Black.
Ever has it, son.
Gotta ask Omega Black is the plug.
Nah, what he's gonna do is he's gonna be like, oh, here's you see what you gotta do is you gotta get this freaking mystery box right here, freaking $600, and then you'll get it on there with everything else.
Omega's a wizard with that stuff.
He is. No, but
I'll tell you guys that I gave Omega my Game Gear. Old Game Gear. He says he's gonna fix it up.
Oh, that's
shout
cool.
out to Omega Black, by the way, guys. We should shout him out every stream, but we're gonna do it right now. Yo, shout out to Omega Black.
Absolutely, shout out to our boy OBZ. Listen, hey, you wanna know something funny? He got me really close to trying to get one of those like retro box Johns, because like I do indulge in retro stuff. Not to that level, but like I would love to like have one of those. Especially, it would probably be a lot easier to stream, but then again, it's like, well, if you're talking about easy, just fucking get the ROM on your computer. Like, stop playing around. But yeah, I digress. We should move on. So next up on this long list of things to talk about, we have the auction. Okay, so for those that are not aware, one of the early signs of this entire franchise just being in the dirt was the fact that there are several pieces of set pieces, costumes, all that you can imagine that you'd see in a Power Ranger show is literally up for sale. So if you're a whale
out there,
and if you have enough money to blow and are still living,
it's over now.
Oh, it's all over now. Okay, well, never mind.
It ended a while ago.
Yeah.
If you got it, if you're one of those people,
I think some you could still buy it from the person that bought it, but for the most part, the actual auction ended a while ago.
Right. Okay, my bad. So yeah, I guess the reason why we brought this up was to even just say like, damn, that's
at the
time
crazy.
That it
happened. At the time that it happened, like it was just one of those things where like it was just bad news after bad news after bad.
Yes.
I mean, now it's kind of just funny because
it just felt like a dog pile. Like it's like it's basically just like, damn, yo, like we're really out. Like
that was a big deal because that was the first time they were selling set pieces from like the 90s. That was the first time they ever did anything.
Like people
like
have like the actual Astro Mega Ship, like or Megazord, like from those sequences that you see in like the intro episode and stuff like that. Like it's just weird to think about.
If you have the link, it doesn't show you unless you have an account, but it actually you can see how much everything sold for. Oh, that's what I thought was cool about this. Like the top sold item, the highest sold item was the Cosmic Fury Hero Blaster. I guess they're combined.
Oh, I see that.
Blaster.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
For $87,000.
What the hell?
For Cosmic Fury Blaster?
JD, don't act confused, son. We know you got money. You bought it.
$87,000.
Yeah.
So like I was just saying before, like even though the auction's over, this person is you can offer him $131,000 to buy it.
That's
the second highest sold album. The second item was the Astro Mega Ship, which surprised me. Yeah, I didn't expect that. $47,000.
But I would never like be the Astro Mega Ship is not the first thing I'm gonna see that I'm gonna try to buy.
I think that was the only Megazord, like OG Megazord that was on there, like actual.
Plus, it's like one piece or it's like two piece. Like it's not, it's probably easier to manage.
I truly wonder like what they're doing with the money that they've made off of any of these things. Like, is this what is this gonna go towards?
Yeah.
Oh, I know exactly what's gonna go towards, and that's what we're gonna be talking about soon.
I don't even know.
Hopefully,
but
who's producing it? We'll get to that when we get to that.
For costumes, the highest sold one, probably nobody's surprise, was Tommy, Green Ranger, for $30,000.
That's it.
That's pretty cool.
Is it the like flappy shield?
Yeah, I think it is. It's 1993. It looks like the weird shield. Yeah,
I'm surprised. I figured that would have went for more.
The pictures were but the real story with this when it was going on, I don't know if you guys remember, but it was kind of fucked up. But it was also kind of funny. It was Hunter, the red comic.
Oh yeah.
The gate kept
Red Cosmic
Fury? So she Red Cosmic Fury Ranger, Hunter,
Amelia. Yeah.
So like when this was going on, like a lot of Power Ranger actors, they're on Twitter, like they're sad, like so I'm like, oh man, this sucks. Like I should probably, auction for my own costume. Like I think like Ethan said that too. He might have. I don't know if he ever actually
Dino
did,
Thunder Blue Ranger.
Yeah, Dino Thunder Blue. I think like one or two or three. A few of them said they might do it, and then like I think she was like the most like adamant about it. Like, yeah, I'm gonna try to auction for my own costume. Like nobody knew how much the stuff was gonna end up being, and then for like a majority of the auction, hers was the most expensive.
Wow, it's probably because she added value to it because she wanted it.
Because she said she was gonna buy it, so people were just being dickheads.
That's crazy.
Listen, I got outbid a total of 18 times. I'm Pink Ninja Steel costume. I got 18 times I got outbid. Yo, that was rigged. I was gotta tell y'all.
You you're telling me you try to get Ninja Steel Pink's costume
18 times.
That's crazy.
You tried.
What were you gonna do with it?
Yeah.
What the fuck would you have done with that?
We don't
costume?
want him to answer. We don't want to. I don't know if we want the answer.
You know what? You're probably right about that. So go ahead, Tech. Continue.
No, but I was just saying, hers ended up being 15,000. But for a large majority of the auction, it was the highest, which is so funny and messed up.
And this was her Red Ranger outfit.
Yeah, the Cosmic Fury one. Yes,
nice. That's cool though.
I mean, not for nothing too.
I mean, I don't think she got it. That's what I'm saying. It's not cool.
I mean, she is the first, like, female Red Ranger. Like that's not Lauren, like an actual real one. So that suit is iconic in its own right.
True.
It would have sold high regardless.
And it was the last season. Yeah.
Exactly.
Last season, it's the first of something and it's the last of something. There's a lot of value in that suit.
Right. Yeah.
I don't think that was why though. But if you try to reason it,
no, I'm not saying
part of it, but
regardless, it was gonna go for high. And maybe not as high, but it definitely would have been high.
Yeah, true.
But the cool part is that, like, I know some Power Rangers fans,
y'all definitely in New York.
I forget what they're called. You guys saw that? Like, they're trying to make a museum. Like, a lot of them pitched in and like bought some of the
that's pretty cool
stuff.
I'm not sure if y'all feel the same way, but there's something about this whole auction thing that just makes me feel a little weird, uneasy. I'm not.
I mean,
it's very unpractical.
Because all these pieces are just spread out.
Yeah.
That's the thing. We're spread out, and we're probably never gonna see them all together ever again.
Nope.
And it's unfortunate. Like, we don't know where a lot of these things are.
Yep.
Right. And we don't know how they're gonna be stored. Like, I don't. I feel like some things that people overpaid for some things. I think some things were completely people underpaid for. But it's like, that is an important piece of Power Rangers history. I think it was right to let it go because, you don't want to hoard a whole bunch of stuff. And if it's taking up space, you're not going to do anything with it. It's better than just throwing it away, I guess. But, yeah, man, it's just, I don't know, man. It's just weird. Like,
it's definitely not really, like, fun to think about the fact that, like, this really is, like, adds, like, a finality to it. But also it's, like, they didn't even really want to keep it for like memorabilia or like try to keep the legacy. They're just like, oh well, we're just getting rid of it, it's trash, you guys buy it, and I'm sure some of the people who bought it are gonna keep it as prized possessions and take care of that stuff. Or you said something about
pay $86,000 for something. Hell yeah, you better.
Again, it's like the fact that it does kind of add like a weird sense of finality and a sense of like, we really don't care anymore.
Yep.
And I think that's what really made it feel like, so it's made it sting.
Yeah,
just like it just feels like it's over.
A lot of things in Hollywood either get auctioned off or just given away anyway. But the thing is, they're not as loud about it. They're not making announcements like, hey,
that's true.
Because they did this and everybody knew about it, it kind of made things worse. Because if they were to do it quietly, or do it like behind the scenes with people that work in the industry, it would have been a different story. We probably wouldn't care that much, even if it could have been the same result. But because they were kind of like almost trying to market this auction, that left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths.
Correct.
Or that's even the fact that I bet before this auction happened, a lot of people probably didn't even know that this stuff was even still around.
True.
So
you know what's crazy? Because Power Rangers had multiple owners throughout the years. You mean to tell me, son, they took all this shit and kept shipping it? Like, that is actually crazy if you think about it.
Unless they just had a warehouse that they just passed the key around to.
Yeah, maybe. I hope that's the case because that's a lot of shit.
I think it probably stayed with where I forgot where I was reading about it. I think they said it might have been in New Zealand. It might have been because that's where they filmed it for a long time, ever since Disney.
True.
So like it might have been there the whole time. I forget where. Don't quote me, but it probably just. I think it probably stayed in the same place from where Disney had it.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Or maybe since Hasbro. I mean, since Saban brought it back, because I'd assume I don't know how. Well, no, that's not true. I was thinking
like the fact, I would think that the different owners would have their own warehouses, their own collections for those, for those seasons that for when they owned it. I didn't would think that everything would be together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just something interesting. A little tidbit.
Yeah, well, yeah, so
Sad.
it's beyond sad, but you know, it's to be metaphorical, we have been the dead horses that have been constantly been beaten up on for a very long time as it is. So I think I'm at a very numb phase, you know, like shout out to Linkin Park, but like that's like kind of where I'm at, you know, like it is what it is. So but it looks, I mean, and you know what though, the news, it's what we're here for, guys. It just keeps getting crazier because
Ninja Kids TV.
That's the only light in the sand. Is
Hashtag Ninja Kids.
So next up, what we wanted to talk to you guys about is this upcoming documentary that is apparently supposed to feature. Well, it's not apparently. It is. Okay, it is featuring a whole episode dedicated to Power Rangers. Okay, now from the trailer that I saw, we've all seen. I kind of don't know what to expect because the tone of this whole episode, like okay, this is what I was refraining from saying before we started recording. I wanted to save it for this. But why do I get the feeling that they're going to reveal what caused Jason David Frank to take his life? I don't know if they're gonna actually do that, but because of the tone of like all these crazy horror stories that they're about to reveal, and like they got our girl Tanya crying over here, and it's like, what? Like, how serious this is actually gonna be? Like, they're about to talk about the what was it? The death that, or no, it was a few things, because it was Cole, the Red Ranger for Wild Force, who in self-defense, he killed somebody with a sword.
His roommate, right?
Yeah. And then I don't know if they're gonna talk about the Poir situation, Red Ninja Storm
I think he was
Ranger.
in the trailer, but they probably will.
Yeah, so it's like, so again, like I bring all these points up because they're about to talk about some serious shit, like all the dark side of Power Rangers.
Yes, basically that. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah. So like, I don't know. Like, so go ahead, Tech. What are we thinking here?
In my opinion, I don't think it'll be that in depth. I think it's one of those things for like, if you're just a fan, a casual fan that doesn't know anything about any of that, aside from obviously JDF, I mean, you probably know about that, but like if you're just a casual fan, like I wouldn't have known about the Cole thing unless until I got more into the fandom. I think it's one of those things where like, oh, did you know that one of these actors did that crazy shit? Or like, oh, one of those other actors did that crazy shit. I think it's going to be something like that. Like they'll probably talk about it a bit. I don't think it's going to be anything new that we haven't seen before, personally. But that's kind of what I think.
That's fair. Yeah.
Those type of documentaries.
I'm very interested in seeing this, not necessarily because of what's going to be said, just how necessary it's going to be edited to, for us, the viewers, to try and make it entertaining. I almost got the same vibes as that Nickelodeon special from Max, right? The dark side of the child stars, on set and stuff with Dan Schneider.
Yeah.
That's the kind of vibes I got. Crazy stories that we probably, heard before. We had we saw stuff that we thought happened that really did end up happening or didn't end up
like
happening.
If you were tapped in, you probably knew this, but if you're not like as tapped in, you probably
I do feel we're gonna hear some things we didn't know about, or some things that, for example, like the bullying that they gave Billy on set, and which caused him to quit. I feel like that's something that they're probably gonna bring up, and we'll probably hear something more in depth about it. Whether and we hear it from the Ranger side of things, the actors, but we never really got to hear anything from like the producers. So it's very possible, especially with shows like this, they get both sides. So I'm very interested to hear that side that we have not heard yet, which is the side of the producers or a director or whoever. Maybe they got Saban on there too, give his side of the story of a bunch of stuff. You never know. Like, that right there, it definitely has spiked my curiosity. And I, quite frankly, am excited to watch it, but at the same time, I'm a little nervous and scared. I'm not gonna lie to you, because it's like, can this change my views on a certain character or a certain actor? You know, and maybe it's gonna touch some subjects that we're not necessarily comfortable with, or ones that we don't really want to revisit. But I also do feel like, as longtime fans, and for somebody that for people like us who put so much time and so much money into this franchise, I feel like it's their due diligence, and it's all right to know what really is going on, right? They have, it's like doing right by us. And you saw Tanya on there, right? You did mention that's our season. That was our time.
Yeah.
So clearly it's we're probably gonna how do I say, we're gonna connect with it a lot more than the newer generation, or even the people that started watching during the Disney era. I'm very, very interested to see what happens in that episode. And I'm pretty sure there's going to be something that's going to be so crazy, we're probably going to be doing a whole separate episode based on that itself.
Yeah, you know what? I would actually like to, once it comes out, and specifically the Power Ranger episode drops, I would definitely like to do a follow-up and give our review on it. Actually, I might react to that shit on my stream now that I think about it. To be honest. But yeah, if they do get Saban on there, watch his head ass. He's about to be sitting there. He'll be like, "Bro, I was just trying to make toys." And that's the only thing he says.
I also do feel like that's one thing that's gonna happen, is they're gonna bash him, right? Where maybe they're not getting him on there, but they're
probably gonna talk about how much they were, getting screwed on money. That might be a short thing.
I mean, but documentaries like this, or docuseries like this, they always have a villain, and I think that he is going to be that villain, where it's very possible, right? They might not even bring up the the Cole incident and the power situation. They're probably just gonna talk about mistreatment on the set, or Saban's greediness was everything, because Gia.
There's definitely enough things about Mighty Morphin.
Why is Gia on here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Neo Saban.
True. I didn't. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. But I mean, she was also like super tight with JDF.
True.
But
you're absolutely right.
Anything could happen. Like, I'm curious.
They're probably gonna show Austin St. John's, fraud.
This is an army. Oh, sorry.
I mean, yeah, like any of that stuff dealing with the fallout from that would be crazy, but I'm not expecting to get that. I'm expecting a lot more of like the surface level stuff. Like going back to your original question about are we going to get more? Like, I'm curious, because I feel like, let's say some people feel like it's more on Tammy, and they say that, I'm sure that they would not feel good about that being aired, and that it would be a thing. So it might be more of they might be taking more of a neutral stance. And I don't know if they're going to say anything too edgy, because that it would be more of a controversy play at that point, where it's like somebody's going to get defensive, or somebody's going to feel like somebody's lying about the severity of it. But it's I feel like they painted a pretty clear picture, so maybe you can't really avoid it at that point.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess we'll see. But yeah, I definitely will be watching that reaction.
So yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to host that, because that is something I'm very interested in checking out. It comes out on Monday, March 24th. That's
this couple of days.
That's a
Stay
lot.
tuned.
That's a lot sooner than I was expecting.
What's it coming out on?
Stay tuned.
Is it Netflix?
We coming back.
Isn't it
real
some
soon.
Discovery something
on ID and stream on Max?
ID.
So Max.
Is that one of those streaming services where they drop everything at once, or will they do?
Oh, I said Max. It's Max.
That's a good question.
I got Max. I'm in there.
I have Max too, but I don't know if they're gonna drop every episode, because to be honest, Like, no disrespect to all the other episodes. Like, I just want to see the Power Ranger one.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure because if you look at that, I think the order was Power Rangers. Like, it was like the first thing that they showed or something. Like, I haven't watched that trailer in a while, but I think it's gonna be the first episode. I would hope it's the first episode.
Could be.
Because Power Rangers is probably not even the biggest show there, so I'm pretty sure for a show like that, they'll probably want to save like the biggest show for last or something. Yeah, just get Power Rangers out the way, please, Max, or whoever's putting this out. Just give us what we want already. Listen. Good for you for coming out with this. Give us Power Rangers first.
Yeah.
So okay, the funny thing about I'm actually looking at some of the comments underneath the tweet that had the trailer for this. A lot of interesting tweets that I'm not going to really read because some of them are very, very sus.
Yeah,
But there's like this one that I will read that it's not harmful at all. This person said, respectfully, I feel all Power Ranger fans should not watch this. So that's
what I'm saying?
That's kind of interesting,
Like, no lie, like, like even talking about the stuff we were talking about, like, I'm not lying. You call me exaggerated, call me scaredy cat, call me whatever. I had goosebumps talking about it because I'm really like, at least that's how they made it out to be. Like, there's gonna be some serious shit in here.
Yeah.
As long as they're not like, if they're not gonna put some weird spin on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do hope there's a good balance though of between the negativity and the positivity. Yeah. I hope it's just not all negative because
it's campaign or anything crazy.
Yeah, the franchise itself. It's for kids and stuff. It's supposed to give us hope and shit, not make it look like, oh, we're not supposed to supporting Power Rangers ever again, because the actors.
Yeah,
when in reality, Disney Channel stars did a lot worse. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hold on. So the one thing you said from there that I wanted to pick out and elaborate on a little bit is that it's so weird how we come full circle with a lot of the topics that we've already talked about so far tonight, and like. The weird thing is, I'm in my mind, I'm like asking myself, like, is this even a good idea to put out something like this if there's apparently new shit coming? And like, wouldn't this theoretically be a bad look? And then I realized, after hearing what you said, Isaac, I'm like, no, because this is targeted for us. They want the grown-ups, the adults, the kids that grew up with it, to see whatever they're about to tell us and be like, yeah, we don't care about this anymore. So that way they can do this reboot, remaster, new fake, worse than McDonald's looking toys for the kids. And then at that point, it's like they separate the seas. At that point,
when you do something like this, do you need Hasbro's approval?
You know what? That's a good question. I have no idea.
Because if that's the case, if they did,
you need approval for footage. You need approval for licensing.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Well, if they're not using any footage, they're just talking to the actors.
You could also, when you ask for a license, you don't necessarily really have to say for what it's for. You just want permission to put it out there and publish it, right? Like these actors, I'm pretty sure getting paid on their own, independently. You see a lot of I see it in wrestling documentaries. I've seen it. If it's footage that was already published, you are able to ask for a license, I'm sure, to use that footage, right? You don't need people's permission at that point because it's already out there. I mean, listen, I'm no lawyer or anything, but I'm just trying to put two and two together.
Yeah, well,
same thing with music.
Yeah, I guess we'll see when the time comes. I mean, like, I'm hoping that this whole entire video is out before that comes out, so the timing will kind of line up nicely.
If they get sued for defamation, we know that wasn't approved. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll be doing all this if they didn't have everything approved.
Yeah, because you figure they'd have to get approval because it's not like you can just be like, hey, how much for the license, and then they blindly say here's the price and then just give it up without knowing like, okay, like, but what is the intent behind said license?
You want to come out with a documentary episode for Power Rangers? That's in reality, that's probably all they have to say. What they don't know, they don't have to know what kind of documentary. It's like it's a documentary, just talk about the actors in the show and stuff. I'm thinking, listen,
there's no way it's that big.
Why would Hasbro or whoever owns the IP would literally be okay with? Oh, you're gonna put us in a negative light? Nah, you go right ahead. Go do whatever you want. It wouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess we'll.
Interesting.
I could be wrong, but it just doesn't make sense on paper.
Yeah.
Uchi, if you were telling me, Isaac, I'm coming out with a documentary of you, but I'm just gonna be, say a lot of negative things. I'm not gonna be like, yo, Uchi, you
Run
got
it.
it.
Yeah.
First
No,
off,
okay.
good
I
luck
see your
trying to
point.
find
I see your
anything
point.
bad about me,
I see
you
your
know?
point. I see your point. That's a good point. All right. So okay. Now speaking of like documentaries, new projects coming up. Well, with all that, there are rumors. First rumor is this rumor of a new movie. Does anyone have any thoughts that they want to put out there in regards to that to start us off?
If that rumor is true, I just hope it's not directed towards kids. I want this to be the thing is with at least with the movies, right? Even if it's a PG-13 rating, I'm okay with that. That's all I'm asking for is at least PG-13. Like the Power Rangers 2017 movie, guys, I love that movie, and I will defend that movie until I can't defend it no more.
It gets a lot of love on Twitter for sure.
Nowadays,
So-
Yeah, nowadays,
So,
yeah.
shout out
after
to
the fact.
Naomi Scott, and Becky
And
G.
Becky G.
However, the I really do feel like that movie was for us, and I feel like it took a very adult approach, even though it was still teenagers with attitude. I feel like it was a step in the right direction. The tone of the movie, the story, the grassy like elements, from the high schoolers, right? Like there was and the deleted scene. I'm not sure if you guys watched the deleted footage. It was getting there.
Yeah.
It was definitely getting more Degrassi like, but it's. I want something. I want a mature Power Rangers movie. That's what I want. I want something mature, something I'm watching and it's like, yo, this is. I don't want to watch something on the big screen, but like, yo, this is for kids. I want to see motherfuckers go ham. I want to hear them curse. I want to see blood. Right, that's what I want to see. Now, I'm not talking about like gore or anything, but I want to see some actual violence when it comes to this movie. If it is true, have the shows be more intended for younger audiences, but then market the movie to be more for adults.
So strike hard, strike first.
Facts. Strike first, strike hard.
Yeah.
I actually, it's funny. I think I actually feel the complete opposite.
Why am I not surprised, man? This there's two things about Tech you could always count on. Him always having the wrong view, and then him. I guess it's the same thing. View. Always being with JD on his side. I'm not sure.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
What's funny? Like, even though I also do love the 2017 movie,
yes,
I thought that was the perfect direction to go.
Yes,
and I still to this day think that if the costumes weren't so goddamn ugly,
I
know at least
did
a little bit better enough to warrant a sequel.
With those costumes.
I mean, we don't, but it's still not like it wasn't a good sell for the vast majority of people.
No, not at all.
Like a lot of people could say, "Oh, these guys are just copying Iron Man, or like Marvel or whatever." But it is what it is. Like, I think this isn't gonna happen, but I think if they wanted to do like a Power Rangers movie, like if I know nothing about it, like what direction I would go in, like you might as well just go all in on like the cheesiness and goofiness of Power Rangers. Like I think making something, like you guys probably saw Deadpool 3, right?
Oh,
yeah. Like if they did something in like that tone, like something that like makes fun of superhero,
stupid, but it's a little self-aware.
Yeah, like
you can still do it, have it be mature though.
You can't. I don't know. If you can find a balance, that's what
I mean. That's kind of what RPM was for.
Yeah,
its
like
own
something,
season,
something that's like it could be serious, but like I just want something that because the thing that I love the most about Power Rangers, obviously, the martial arts and all that other stuff, but like I love, like to this day, like me personally, like nowadays when I watch Power Rangers, I love how goofy that shit is half the time. Like when I see something stupid, like one of my favorite Lightspeed Rescue episodes is the episode where like they start off, it's Chad and Kelsey, like they're sitting like in the dojo, like training, like in this one part, and then this guy just pulls up, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you guys are Power Rangers. I'm gonna beat you up." And like and this guy's like goofy as hell, and he's like, "What are you talking about? Like, no, you're not." And he like beats him up, and the whole episode is about like him. Viper comes and like he goes to Viper, and like he like becomes his apprentice or whatever, and then he does all that just to fight Chad again. It's a really goofy episode.
Yeah,
but I love stuff like that because it's hilarious. And like if they went into like a direction like that, I think it would at least be something different. Like, cause like we're kind of, especially when that movie came out, unfortunately, it was at a point in time where like everything was trying to copy Marvel. And like, I think that's part of why it didn't do as well, like as it could have. And like, I don't know. I just want something different. But if it is still something in the vein of like the 2017 movie, I'm okay with that too, as long as it's good.
I mean, it's okay to be goofy. I mean, the 2017 movie started out with a joke about milking the bull.
Yeah.
Like, let's be real here. So, it could be goofy, but it can still be mature. It's just, something directed towards adults, but still also be entertaining enough.
I don't want to take itself too seriously. Because I love meta humor and stuff like that. Like when it's done well, not like super.
Yeah, like
corny,
even having
like,
a comedic relief character, like you mentioned in Lightspeed Rescue. Just even having like a goofy character, have every character have distinct personalities, right? Like you could have obviously, whoever the Red Ranger is, have that leader mentality. You could have, I don't know, the Blue Ranger be that goofy character that makes everybody laugh. You have your serious character in the Black Ranger, right? Like, things like that. A good balance with the whole entire cast, because cast is going to require a great cast in order for that movie to. It got a lot of making up to do, that's for sure, because they're not going to. If that movie is, yes, it is a rumor, but if they're really working on something, they're going to have to fix what went wrong with the last one. Again, I don't think the last one was a bad movie, whether it was marketing, whether it was the Goldar's design. Maybe they just didn't like the Rita story. I don't know what I don't know what it is. I really personally feel like people just didn't want to give it a chance because that's not the Power Rangers they grew up on. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, we probably could have got the sequel anyway if it was ever sold.
Yeah, I mean,
and then like super fatigue might have been a thing too at the time.
Yeah, I mean,
at that time, I don't know because like I don't know. I think that the 2017 movie was great, but it definitely we gave it a shot because we wanted it to be good, and to our surprise, it actually was good. Yeah. But it's like it was generally a hard sell for most people because it just wasn't recognizable. It's like if you look at how they did the Transformers movies or whatever, it's like even though they were Michael Bayified, it's like it was still relatively recognizable enough to where it's like, oh, like most people would see that and they know what to expect because they see Optimus's face looks like what they remember. And then even if the rest of like they didn't really get the designs right until like Bumblebee, right, when they're like, oh, like that's what Cybertron looks like, that's what Optimus Prime is supposed to look like. But it didn't matter because it was still recognizable enough. But like tone wise, like I think the 2017 movie had the right tone where it was just the right amount of like PG-13, but still had some camp. But again, it's about like who's writing it and who, like, how do they understand the team dynamic aspect of Power Rangers, but also tapping into the lore, right? Because like I think that the biggest untapped thing in the Power Rangers like universe is the fact that there's like all this lore that nobody really knows about because they don't know about anything beyond MMPR. So it's like so and I'm not saying it has to be like what the comics are doing now, which is like an extreme version of that, but it's like if you are redoing like a MMPR based story, like you got to just like, again, like, I mean, I guess technically the comics did do that, but you need to jump right into some kind of like thing where it's like, hey, like this is existing at the same time as this other team,
right?
And just like and you'll be like, oh well, like the Mighty Morphin Rangers are here, but they're going to be working with a Aquitian, like Aquitar, Rangers, or Time Force or whatever. Like they got to do something just to expand the universe a little bit. But and it's only going to work if that main 5 or 6 or whatever is likable and has good chemistry. Which again, like I don't think any of that is impossible, but it's just hard to do because like most people write Power Rangers off. Like it's a silly
I was just gonna get to that KD. KD, oh my God, KD. Sorry. Yeah, I said KD because I received a Discord message by my friend whose name is KD at the same time. My bad. So I looked at that at the same time. I literally coincidence. So one thing that I did, like, just you talking about that, right? There's something I just remembered, and maybe one thing that was an issue, and hopefully, if this new movie is a reality, hopefully something they keep in mind is really the demographic, because touching back to Marvel movies, right? I'll give you guys for an example. When the 2017 movie came out, I had to force my girlfriend to go. I had to force her to go. Like, she would not. She already didn't like the fact that she was going to be in there watching it with me.
Oh man!
But I forced her to go. So you're coming. When it came to a Marvel movie, she was more willing to go there, right? So it's gonna sound corny, but if it's something that they can be where it's like, hey, you know what, couples can come watch this, and I really like think about ticket sales, right? Because that's one of the reasons people were saying, oh, it didn't do well at the box office. It's pretty much gonna be, you going with your boys, you going with your significant other by force, unless you find like an actual partner that loves Power Rangers. You're going with your little brother, or you're going with your big brother, or you're a mom and you're taking your sons to go watch that movie, right? So it's very, very limited, at least from what I saw. I'm not saying everybody's like that, but we cannot deny the majority of the Power Rangers fans, right? The demographic is young males. Like that is just that's just the truth.
It is what it is.
Yep. So we weren't willing to go watch the Barbie movie. Like, yo, I can't wait to go watch that.
It was not my choice. I can tell you that right now.
That's what I'm saying.
I wanted to see the Barbie movie.
The movie was fine.
It's good.
I ain't saying it's not, but it was not my friend. Like, I didn't want to go in there and be like, yo, I can't wait for this movie to come out.
Right.
Right. So I didn't. I went with.
I'm a film person though. But
I went with my friend, right? But only because that's my friend, so I was gonna go with her. But if I had a significant other, I was gonna be forced to go watch that movie. I wouldn't necessarily be like, "Yo, I want to go see it." So also keep that in mind, right? The demographic. It's a much more limited demographic, so obviously it's gonna sell less. We're not gonna have. What?
I agree with you, but I also think that if they make it good, it'll at least do a respectable amount. Because I feel like nowadays, word of mouth is so much more important than it used to be.
Because of social media.
Yeah, because social media, bro. Like what was a movie that? Well, there was like a few movies recently like that was bad. Like it was. I'm trying to think. It was like a movie that I wanted to see, and then I found out that it was bad, and I didn't go see it. And the sales tanked after like the first week, and like that, I feel like that is way more common these days.
Yeah.
Because
it's like,
the user reviews can have like a huge.
I mean, look, you can't stop a movie from being bad, right? But you don't know if it's bad unless you go watch it, right? Because the Power Rangers movie reviews came out, they weren't bad. They were just like they ranged from okay to like all right, nothing like spectacular or like amazing. You have to go watch.
I think that didn't happen until recently. Like now, people looking back, they're like, you know what, that movie was actually pretty good. But yeah, at the time,
aged well. The movie really aged well.
The movie ages well, but it's like, you're only really gonna get that that wave of people changing their minds if the movie is getting like super high ratings. Like if its Metacritic was like in the 80s 90s, then you might have people turning heads and be like, oh, maybe this is something I gotta check out. But the reality is it's like it was probably in like the I don't remember what its Metacritic was, but it was like modest, and for us that's great, but for everybody else it's like, well, I'm not going to waste my time because people are like super picky because movies are expensive to go to nowadays. Unless you have movie, like for most people, if you don't have like one of those like premium subscriptions to go to the movies like whenever you want, that shit it's an expensive hobby.
It can be unless you're like me and you only go for the hero shit because that's all I'm in there for. Like that's like I have a friend. Actually, you guys are probably familiar because on one of my other channels that I do, Incredibly, my boy Joey, he's a movie buff. He
Yeah,
has
same,
one of
man.
those subscriptions.
Yeah, I have
He,
a A-list.
he lives at the theater. Him and his fiance, they go see everything. And I'm like, bro, that could never be me. Because like just like you guys are talking about, everything's expensive. And then it's like, are you trying to eat too? Oh, forget about it. You might as well take a loan right now. Because that's like
$8 for a glizzy, dog.
You're right. You know, and like I'm definitely not doing that. It's like I only go support the shit that I'm really invested in when doesn't matter what. Like obviously we're talking about movies. When it comes to movies, I am literally only ever in a theater by my own will and idea if it's a Marvel, DC, anime or something adjacent to that. You know what I'm saying? Or if it's like a really popular franchise that I also grew up with that I wanted to, that was in the rare off chance. Yeah, I'm gonna go see that. But so that I'm looking at maybe I'll be in the movie theaters maybe 4 times a year at most.
Yeah, listen.
And that's
last
normal.
movie I wanted to go watch was Captain America. Before that, it was Deadpool.
And exactly my point, dude.
Like, straight up.
Exactly my point. Anything else that I saw in between was like not my choice.
Not superhero movie I went to go watch in the theater was Avatar, Way of the Water.
Jesus,
like that was the last time I went to go watch.
Y'all killing the movie industry.
I'm definitely in that cinephile thing where it's like I'm in like I go to the movies. I try to go at least 3 times a month so I could use my.
Oh wow!
Okay. You have AMC. I have A-list. Okay. So, but there's been it depends on how much time I have, like just free time or like energy. Because
I mean, it's a good deal. That's a really
whatever, but it's an amazing deal because really like after the first movie, it basically pays itself off. So it's like as long as you see one movie a month, everything else afterwards is basically free.
So basically, what they're getting you on is all the concessions.
Yeah, that's how. But again, like I'm at my job, there's snacks and stuff. So sometimes I'll just bring snacks.
So
or
I'll
get the but and I'm cheap and it's whatever and it's cheap because they let you take it. But it's like it's cheap because like I don't even get the full bucket. Like I just get the snack pack, which is like $8 or whatever, and you get popcorn, candy, and a soda, and you could refill the soda. So it's like I'm usually chilling when I go to the movies, but I also know like it's because I'm like I dip into that cinephile thing where it's like I like to go to watch like the whatever. Like I saw Novocaine yesterday; it was pretty good. You probably would like it. But ultimately, like going back to this Power Rangers movie thing, I don't know if this, because we've been kind of like talking around like the idea of this happening for a long time. Like the Intwistle thing was kind of just like we don't know if this ever happening. If it probably not, but. The idea I want to close on basically besides like this whole like expanding the universe, I think the other way you could make this work is just like do a really good Green with Evil movie.
Easy.
That's something that would be cool too, because like I love
just do that
because how the comic book started and they just skip straight to it. What everybody wants to see,
and not only that, but it's like that's the stuff where all the memes that circulate nowadays that the vast majority, like that the public know about, is from the Green with Evil stuff because it's like evil Tommy talking shit to Kimberly, it's Tommy punching Trini in the face and taking over the Megazord and fighting Jason. Like that's where the memes are. And that's what people know because that was the phenomenon. And you just use that. You just got to execute that well.
Mm-hmm.
And then you open that door. You could have your Easter egg in there because it's a superhero movie. So everybody's going to expect some kind of Easter egg or whatever. And if you want to plant a seed for some from the comics or some from the extended universe, you do that. But just get Green with Evil right. And then you're set because that's what the 2017 movie was. It was taking too much time to get there. But and granted, it's like I respect them for just trying to it was basically like a movie version, Day of the Dumpster or whatever. But Power Rangers really took off with Green with Evil. That's when it became a worldwide phenomenon. So
that was where
that's what you got to do.
What they need to do is bring in a very, very big name where people will not feel embarrassed to go watch a movie like that. Right.
I see what you're saying now too. Yeah.
So even like for example, I'm just this is the movie was horrible for Joker 2. They got Lady Gaga in there, right?
That's what I was thinking of. Because that was a movie where everybody I knew wanted to go see it. And then the word of mouth was so bad that none of my friends, I didn't even go see it. And I love Joker.
I still haven't seen it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either. And I watched first one too.
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
But like that movie, just like, well, that's the whole thing. But just like Matrix, the fourth Matrix, is like the director made that movie to spite WB because he didn't want to make that movie, but WB made him make the movie, so he just made it bad on purpose, basically. Like that's the
wow.
Yeah, it's basically just like a fuck you to WB because that's literally what happened with Matrix 4 too, where they were just like, you want us to make this and we don't want to do it. Well, you pay us and we'll just do whatever the hell we want. And
Hasbro can get a big name like that, and know they have something good in their hands with a good movie, right? Just all it takes is to give people a reason to want to buy a ticket. That's it, right? Not even people that are not fans of Power Rangers. Hey, this person is in it. I'm gonna go watch it because I like this actor or I like this actress. So I'm gonna go watch it because I have a good feeling about it, right? And if they have something that's good, that's where word of mouth comes in, because it's like, it's a Power Rangers movie, but believe it or not, it was actually pretty enjoyable. Again, my girlfriend, she did not want to go watch that movie. Leaving there, she's like, you know what? It wasn't bad. Because I got her in there to watch it. Give people a reason to go want to at least pique their interest. But like, you know what? I don't mind watching this. Let me go watch it. And then have them figure it out for themselves. Yeah. That's how they're going to make that movie successful, if it is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's all rumors from a unknown source. Who knows if this is even a real thing.
Yeah, so to wrap it up, and then we will move on to the very last thing left. Is just that apparently this is gonna be done by Paramount. Set to reboot the iconic franchise, and according to multiple reports, the upcoming film will not be a sequel to the 2017 movie, but rather a fresh start with an entirely new story. So.
Which I'm also tired of. I'm just as tired as this reboot shit and rumors, just like I am with Mighty Morphin being reimagined, redesigned, AI enhanced. I do not give a fuck. Just stop.
Yeah.
Like people. That's why I kind of love the direction that James Gunn is going with the Superman movie.
Wait,
like everybody's kind of tired of origin stories.
Dude, listen.
I'm tired of that.
I can't wait for that movie too, but the recent news coming out from that got me worried even for them now too.
I don't even know anything about it, but I just know that all I know is that it's not an origin story, and I'm like, that's the perfect way to go.
Yeah, exactly.
We all know
his
origin story. We've seen it a million times.
Movies, that was not no origin story. It got straight to the point, and they were great.
Like that.
Except Far From Home, but
I don't know if everybody knows the Power Rangers story, but I'd imagine most people probably know it. So like, I think you can like JD was saying, like if you start at someone like Green with Evil, that would be probably the best way to go. If this was a new reboot,
you truly don't need to. You don't need to tell. You just need to show.
Yo, you know what else would be crazy? Like, and it is a stretch, right? But I feel like people like to see the heroes lose sometimes. Kind of like when you think about like what made Days of Future Past stand out as like those scenes where the X-Men get killed, the Infinity War, right?
Doomsday like, coming up, they're all gonna lose.
What were some of like the most like traumatic sequences in Power Rangers besides Green with Evil seeing the Power Rangers lose? But it's like, what if you start the movie off with basically we're at the season finale where it's like
movie?
No, I'm talking about like the power, like you started off with like, so you know how season, I think it was season when they were going to Zeo and the rain, like the Zords blew up and their heads have fallen off the Zords
command
and stuff
center
like that.
Was cooked.
The command center, like you do something like that where it's just like, whatever team, like you're just in it and you're just like, shit is on the rails and they're going to get a new power. You start them there, and then you could tell
some stories in medias res. Like you could be like, hey, like here's some stuff that happened that led up to this moment, but here's where they're going. And again, it's like it doesn't necessarily have to adhere to what we've seen, but it would get you right in the action right away, and it would keep you like,
Yep.
But again, I don't know. I'm going too far with it, but let's save that. I'm just saying, but like I'm trying to think of ways like how would I do it if it was up to me, but it doesn't matter.
I do see what you're, I guess, getting towards, which I think could honestly transition us right into our last talking point for this entire long video. Is the rumors of the TV show as well. Now, the thing that I'm going to start off with saying when it comes to all this stuff is just simply that if they're going to try to repurpose Mighty Morphin, because obviously the likeness, the familiarity, the popularity, everybody, when you think Power Rangers, you immediately think to Mighty Morphin anyway. So it's like, okay, those are just easy things to take advantage of, to capitalize on. But it's how you keep people interested and invested. And this next rumor, aside from the movie rumor, is a new TV show. So what I want to say is that what they really have to do is they have to be very bold about the direction that they go in. And they don't necessarily have to even think to try to cater to us, because what I mean by that is we have an expectation because we've already seen everything before. And so what we expect is to see a version of all of that. But in reality, all they need to do is pull a Marvel, pull a DC, and adapt. You take some of the great things that happened, but you kind of formulate a new story around, pivotal moments that are iconic and that make Power Rangers stand out. And I mean, this entire idea of like basically starting in essence with a Green with Evil situation is basically the perfect way to do it. It's like you immediately have stakes. The heroes are getting fucked up. It's like, I understand why you guys brought up the Superman trailer, because that trailer it gives the viewer a reason to care about one of the most broken characters in comic book history. He was getting fucked up. So you're like, whoa, what happened to Superman, right? So it's like with Power Rangers, if they're going to try to capture the attention of either a parent target audience, it being kids, and, the more mature, there's absolutely a way to do both. You just have to deliver a really compelling story for people to care about. The thing that makes Power Rangers so great is that they all have a roster of characters. The cast you can relate to. There's literally somebody for everyone. Why do you think in this day and age you got everybody loving on Cobra Kai? Because the characters were relatable. They were real. They had real issues and dilemmas with each other that, listen, you don't have to know your fighting styles and all that shit, but you can understand the drama and the stresses that are going back and forth. And at that point, all the fighting is literally the background to all of the actual stuff, the substance that's being brought forward. That is what Power Rangers needs to do if they plan on surviving and being around for the next 5-10 years. Because, I would obviously love to just see all this stuff continue to happen. And I mean, the interesting thing is that, like, we don't even know if we're ever going to get back to a point where they go back to formula, where it's like annual, where it's like a new season every year or a new team every year. And honestly,
see it when they got it, basically.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I don't read into a lot of the rumored stuff very much, not gonna lie, because at this point, I made the beating a dead horse joke already, but I am obviously past that point, and I am at the point now where I still will always love Power Rangers. I mean, dude, I made a playlist where it's just TV themes and video game themes, and you already know I got Green Ranger theme song in there. You already know I got the Mighty Morphin theme song in there. Like, whenever those songs come on, first of all, as soon as I hear my heart just explodes. Like, I have energy. I get it. Like, it still has the same effect on me because of how much I love it. But even so, I am at the point now where I am only waiting to see something happen. I'm not gonna pray. I'm not gonna like, oh my God, like this could be it, guys. I'm not gonna get people overhyped. I'm not doing that. Okay? Listen, I already have experience trying to keep people's spirits up during a time when a company that was in charge of something Power Ranger related wasn't doing shit. And I had to do my best to, guys, don't worry, it's being taken care of. And we were waiting, and everyone's waiting, no communication. And thank God something happened, and everyone was cool for a bit. But we're not in those times anymore. Now we're literally in, I guess, a dark age of Power Rangers. So that's all I got. So what do you guys want to say?
I think that, so earlier I was like, all my friends hit me up when this news came out, and they were like, yo, so what do you think? Like, new Power Rangers, right? Like, you excited? And I was just like, honestly, not really, because at this point, like you said, I want to see something. It's like, I'm not gonna, like, we've had a lot of promises, from the Intwistle stuff to the promise of a full on 7-movie franchise. We've had a lot of talks about animated shit, and just like, even Legends of the White Dragon, just like lots of promises that haven't been fulfilled yet.
We're never getting that movie.
And it's like, I've been burned to the point where it's just like, look, I've accepted the fact that like Cosmic Fury and Once and Always is probably like the last thing we're gonna see for like a long time in this Power Rangers realm. But like, is it like nice to see that there's movement happening, and it's not just like being there? That's cool. But until I see some like promotional art or some set photos, or like the green light is happening and there's some casting, that's when I'm gonna get excited. Like, show me who's playing the new cast of characters that we're going to be following. Show me the new suits. Is it going to be MMPR? Is it going to be a brand new thing? Is it going to be like whatever? I don't know. Like, that's when this news is going to be exciting to me. And until then, it's just like, I heard this before, like that whole, like, I feel like the Intwistle thing in particular really
I gotta say something to that, bro.
Has been holding it,
and we could blend it into that, because like they really like gassed us on that shit for mad long. It was,
you want to know?
They were like, yo, what was the show he worked on? It was like
I don't know.
The day, like everything, like
something
world ends or something like that.
But they were just like, oh, this guy, he's a Netflix. He's made shows and he's done.
I watched both of them.
I was just about to say, he actually did the research.
I literally watched both of them. Man, I was like, yo, Jonathan Entwistle, I'm watching everything this guy made. I gotta see, is he prepared to make Power Rangers? Let me see how good a writer he is. Like, does he understand dynamics between characters? Can he make a good story?
You were basically you were vetting him.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say that he did screw us, but at least he's making the crime.
Yeah, it's like, I don't think he did it nefariously, but I think that he hit the creative like wall that most people do probably with Power Rangers, which is like, how do I do this shit? And I wouldn't be surprised if he was fighting against the system too, where it's like he probably had an idea, but the powers that be challenged his idea, and like based on the rumors that we heard too, with like, you know, because they wanted to do a whole bunch of other stuff where it was like the Mighty Morphin team, but not the Mighty Morphin
like
team,
Jenny
but they were crossing
Klein,
over with stuff. That might have been a little bit too much. Like they might have been trying to, you know, too much dipper in the chip, and they gotta simplify a little bit. But again, I don't know what their plan is, but until I start seeing casting and some real tangible shit, it's just like, that's cool. I guess we'll see. But Isaac, what are you saying? Because I see you shaking.
I hate JD, yo.
Me? Okay.
I hate this dude, JD.
Okay.
That's crazy.
I hate
crazy.
JD.
All right.
Dog, listen.
Why? Because it makes sense.
No, it's not that it makes sense.
Maybe stop
right?
fucking.
It's not what you say it makes sense, right? It makes no sense. And I'm going to tell you exactly why, JD.
Okay.
With all due respect, I don't know how you can just be like, oh, you know, I'm not excited. You know, before it's just like it's the end of the season, motherfucker. We were not too long ago. We were like, yo, that's it. Power Rangers is dead. This right here is proof that it's no longer dead. How can you not be excited for us to be proven wrong? Seriously, how can you not be excited over something like
still
that?
alive,
Who gives a fuck? We're probably not even gonna know who the fuck they are anyway. It's probably gonna be the first role in anything, bro. We know. You can't tell me. Oh, I was waiting to see who was gonna play in what is it in Dino Fury. I wanted to see who the cast was. You don't recognize any of the motherfuckers on there, son.
It's not about recognizing them. It's to seeing the fact that someone was cast, because that means they're making a product.
They're real people.
No, you know it's gonna happen if they're already confirmed.
I don't know.
It makes no sense.
All they didn't confirm anything. All they did was say
they said the same thing.
Something is in the works. Yeah, when the Intersil shit came out, there was like, hey, the Power Rangers series in the works with Jonathan Intersil as the creative control, and they got what's his name? What's Brian something? It did.
You know, it did get us excited.
But it's fool me once. Shame on you.
It's still news though. There's no more silence here, right? Look, I want to touch base on a few things, right? Remember, I said hold that thought in the beginning. Okay. You didn't even remind me of that. See, that's crazy. So I kept track of it because I knew he was gonna forget. So I was at my local on Thursday.
Beyblade, shout out.
Yeah, /FDC/Grand Archive /Yu-Gi-Oh/Pokemon. But Dom, my friend Dom, was like, yo, Isaac, why are they saying it's live action? Aren't they all live action? I'm like, true.
I was gonna bring that up.
I'm like, you know what? It's true. However, with all these rumors and shit that was going around, talk about how they finally come out with animated stuff, I think it was necessary for them to say, yo, it's live action so people don't get it twisted. And for us not to ask that question, is it animated? Is it live action? Right? At least we know it's live action. We know it's going to be real people. At least we know that. We don't have to question that. Mm-hmm. Right? So that's why I said hold the thought. I wanted to get that out the way. Because I know people were thinking about that, especially people that are not as in tune as we are. Okay? I'm excited for multiple reasons.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I brought this up in the chat. If you see who's producing it, right? It said 20th century. Let's go back in time a little bit. One of the greatest movies of all time, the Power Rangers movie.
It's 25-year anniversary, isn't it?
Is it?
Damn, really?
Like it just we just hit the 20. We just hit it came out in 95.
Oh shit! Yeah, I guess so. Oh no, that would.
So it's
30 years.
So it's 30-year anniversary of the Power Rangers movie. Dusty. And I saw that shit in theaters.
I saw it in theaters too. I went there with my Saba and my communicator, everything.
Yeah, I got the fucking morph toy from with McDonald's afterwards.
With Rocky. It was Red Ranger. But listen, when I saw it's 20th century, right? We're going all the way back. Listen, Tyson, I don't want to hear nothing from you. It's okay. Look, yeah, exactly.
Oh my! Why did you do that?
Going back in time, right? Power Rangers movie, one of the most OD villains in Power Rangers history, Ivan Ooze.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yep.
We have not seen him since then because he was locked behind a company by the name of 20th Century Fox.
I see where you're going.
What has happened to that company? It was sold to Disney.
Do not give me hope, Isaac.
A new Power Ranger season coming out on Disney Plus.
Do not give me hope.
To own 20th Century.
If this is your ooze pitch, you better stop now.
I will. Aside,
that would be OD. That would be OD.
I'm not giving up hope on this. We could potentially see something. This is a time. I'm not
that would definitely be
a
a good way to get people to watch it.
Absolutely.
At least us.
Yes.
The
So,
ooze is back.
Casual
Yo, he would be like the ooze is back again or some shit.
They can make it happen, yo. I'm telling you, they can make it happen.
Well,
one thing that did surprise me though is like Disney Plus. Like I would have never expected that.
Yeah.
Especially with the movie news about Paramount. So you would think, okay, Paramount Plus.
I was gonna say
true,
Netflix detail right there kind of takes me a little bit higher from where you're at, JD. Like the fact that they even announced where it's gonna be kind of makes me think like, okay, this might be more than just I mean, I guess for the TV series, they did say it was gonna be on Netflix. So
yeah,
the back ain't gonna be fumbled here, yo.
But Netflix is such broad, like anything could be on Netflix.
Listen,
I feel like specifically saying Disney Plus kind of
themselves
makes me, you know,
has such a has such a way to make sure they try to keep as good of a reputation as possible. Like, don't get me wrong, there are some things that they put out themselves, Disney, that are not necessarily the greatest, but they're not just gonna allow something that's just completely bad to be on the streaming network, something that's complete garbage from a different company. I'm pretty sure Disney had to approve some things on there. Right?
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. And even if, you know what? I'm gonna be real with you. Even if it's bad, the reason I don't care is because one, I get to keep my job here at PRA. Okay, number one. There's something to talk about. And two, it's just more material. And we've seen it with Power Rangers before, where something that comes out originally isn't the greatest, but over time, that it can end up actually being good or better overall, right? We have Rangers from previous seasons that were not necessarily good be showing up as a cameo or being put into a different storyline from a different season, and now you know what? I fuck with this character.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna go a different direction with that. I thought you were gonna say like because it would like reignite this. Because like we don't get like Legacy Wars or Battle for the Grid or like whatever else if it wasn't for the 2017 movie. So like even if it's bad, like we will get.
And now that we have the Morphin Grid more important than ever before, right? And I hope they at least keep that. At least I hope they at least keep the Morphin Grid. I'm sure they will. And this is gonna be like the first time we see Hasbro's vision, because you know we haven't seen. We've seen them come out with their merchandise and their products, right, and games and whatever. But now we can possibly see what they really bought this for. Right now, they're going to establish the Hasbro. We've been talking about the Hasbro verse for a while. I know they brought it up as well, and not for nothing too. I feel like when Hasbro bought the IP, they what they did was they didn't create anything original. I'm pretty sure this stuff was already in the work. Cosmic Fury and stuff.
Well, Beast Morphers was. But I think after Beast Morphers was Hasbro.
I'm pretty sure there was stuff.
It was like there was transitional time
that was leading up to that. I'm pretty sure they picked up old scripts or something. I'm not saying it was 100%. You know, Neo Saban or whoever owned it before, right? But I don't think that Hasbro really put too much. I'm pretty sure there was contract in place with Netflix or something of they had to release something. Now,
I get what you're saying, though.
You know, now you know it's like they picked up on something that was already going to come out regardless, whether it was under Hasbro or whether it's on Neo Saban.
They're
I'm pretty sure we're
going
to get a Dino Fury.
The loop of coming out with a new season every year
because they bought the IP and came out with Dino Fury not like quick for something that should have taken a while for it to come out, right? So I'm just excited overall. I'm excited for if whether it's a new Mighty Morphin. I hope it doesn't be real with you guys. It doesn't matter to me whether it's Mighty Morphin, whether it's a different season, or whether it's something completely original. I'm just glad we have something. We should be grateful we have something and that the franchise is not dead how we thought it was going to be.
We have some life support.
We have to keep an open mind here, right?
True.
Cosmic Fury wasn't bad. We all talk about it was
Cosmic
not
Fury,
bad.
Yeah, it was fine.
I enjoy Cosmic Fury, so we know they have it in them to produce something that's at least enjoyable.
Yeah.
Right now, whether they're gonna cater to us or cater to the next generation, I'm ready to be a kid again. I'm so excited for this. I can't wait to. I don't care about who's being casted because again, the actors and actresses are probably not even gonna know who the fuck they are. But I'm very excited to see how these fight scenes are going to be. I'm excited
Robbie.
what's going to make these seasons.
Get out of my head. Get out of my head, Tech. I literally just, oh my God. I was like, I better see Robbie pull up in that shit. And
because
you said
it's Disney, now I'm pretty sure not all episodes are going to come out at once like they were on Netflix. So I kind of feel like in a way that's actually a good thing. Because it kind of has us wait.
It was always not doing that anyway because it was coming out on Nickelodeon. Well, except for Cosmic Theory. That was the only one where all of them came out at the same time.
But you know, but the likelihood of it coming out at the same time would have been higher if it was like on a Netflix or even not Paramount does like weekly stuff too. So again, listen, man, I'm excited. I completely disagree with everything JD said. I am keeping an open mind about this. Whether I hope I end up liking it, and if I don't like it, it's okay. I'm pretty sure products and it's gonna be fire, and there's gonna be somebody out there that's going to like it. Right, whether it is cheesy, like because look, as adults, if we watch Mighty Morphin for the first, let's just say that comes out, we're probably gonna look at it much differently than if we didn't grow up with it.
Yeah.
So as long as this new series at least creates something new for the next generation, listen, I'm okay with that too.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, did you go? Yeah, Uchi, I didn't.
Nah, you could go. Go ahead.
Okay. So the way I feel like, I'm kind of a mix in between I'd say a middle ground between Isaac and JD. Like, I kind of do just want to see something at this point. I mean, it's good to get something. I was definitely excited when it was announced, but like we've seen this song and dance a ton of times, especially the last one kind of burnt pretty hard. Like I was saying before, like I was very excited for the whole Jonathan Entwistle stuff, so I went and watched all his shows and did a lot of research and all this and that, and then nothing came of it.
But you also got to think about this too, Tech, right? Even talk about that. Like, this had, yes, that one project got canceled and one didn't go through, but this right here is proof they never gave up.
Yeah.
So even if this falls through,
I'm not disagreeing.
They're not giving up on it. I'm pretty sure they're gonna still continue.
But like I was saying earlier too, like the fact that they're saying Disney Plus, like that alone is like such a random place for it to be, makes me believe that this will come out. Like I feel like you wouldn't just say Disney Plus and then just not do anything.
That's a whole negotiation. That's a contract. That's a deal, son.
That's Mickey Mouse.
That's a whole Netflix. You can have little. You're comfortable there.
Like I was saying before, anything could be on Netflix. Like I could probably put something on Netflix. Like maybe Tubi first, but like then Netflix. I mean, I go my way up.
Yeah, because you got the deal with Roku. What you talking about?
Yeah, Roku too. But like I'm excited on that, and like I did, as you guys know me, like when you put some names in front of me and the finer details, like I like to do my little research. The directors,
the Yellow and Pink Ranger. That's who I care about.
Crazy word.
God.
But the directors, Jonathan E. Steinberg and Dan Schatz, I was looking them up. They've made a couple shows together, which is good. Like it's not just like like
we got some chemistry. All right.
Yeah, exactly.
All
they have
okay.
They're known most recently for that.
He's real quiet right now, so look at him.
Percy Jackson and the Olympians. I haven't seen that. I just downloaded it.
That was fire.
I heard it's actually good. That's actually like legit. So
I'm gonna check. Yeah, like I'm gonna check that out. They worked on a couple shows together, but that alone is good because like I don't know much about Entwistle's relationship with like like we were talking about like Jenny Klein before. Like I don't know if they ever made anything together. And she was like gonna be the showrunner for the show, and while he worked on the movie. So like the fact that we have some type of common ground between the directors is a good thing. I had it just had it pulled up. The other shows that they made together. Let me see if I got it. Yeah, like the Black Sails. That was another one. I believe that was also created by Steinberg, and he had the other guy in the production team, executive director, I believe. The Old Man, another show, and all these, I believe. Well, no, Percy Jackson is on Disney Plus. I believe, that's on Disney Plus.
If you have not watched it, Sante, that shit is
I'm gonna watch
fire.
What is it?
And then also
Percy Jackson.
Percy Jackson and the Olympians.
Fire.
And that also is it's also Fox, production company Fox.
Yeah.
So that's another good thing. So we like that makes me think, we got all our ducks in line, you know, like we got some,
this is gonna be a quality show, yo.
We got legitimate directors, we got a legitimate production company, we have a legitimate landing spot. Like those are 3 good things that makes me think like, okay, this might actually be real. Like this might actually happen.
Yeah, that's
so
a good
like
point.
when you see all that, like that does make me excited. I don't know if I feel like I've been seeing like conflicting things on what it will actually be, if it's gonna be Mighty Morphin or not. I saw some people say that it will. I saw some people say that it won't. I think it'll make sense for it to be Mighty Morphin. I don't really care if it isn't. I know some people are kind of tired of redoing Mighty Morphin a million times, but I've always been on the side of like, like we say this all the time lately, especially, right? Like there has to be some type of familiarity,
exactly,
in the franchise if you want to make it stick.
Yeah.
And we're at the point in the series where like we see that it wasn't working out the way they were doing it. Aside from like the diehard fan, so like I think you gotta start over.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with it being a Mighty Morphin reboot. If you want to just do it a little bit different, like you can. We were talking about this earlier. Like I think like a Mighty Morphin, even if you took the OG Mighty Morphin, you just cut out all the filler. Like that's a great show right there.
Yeah.
Like even if you're just doing something like kind of close to the source material, probably won't. Like I'm sure they'll do a spin on it.
If they do Mighty Morphin, if they do Mighty Morphin, right? I imagine it's for it not to feel cheesy. It's like another Mighty to make it feel different.
It's not gonna be
something as small as changing the name, such as just Power Rangers or the Power Rangers. They could do Mighty Morphin and it'll be more accepted because it's like, okay, this is now at that point. I feel like it'll feel actual reboot. It's okay to be Mighty Morphin at that point.
Yeah.
The Power Rangers will be fire though. I'm just saying.
The Power Rangers. Straight up. Oh, that's kind of powerful.
Yeah. Like I'm excited. I mean, obviously, there's not much to say aside from like the little details I was talking about before. I'm happy to see that this looks legit from as far as I know, as far as we all know with the rumors. It's a rumor at the end of the day, but it looks like it's legit. I'm excited to see where it goes. Hopefully, it sucked being a Power Rangers fan lately. It just seemed like everything was just bad for a while.
It's a glimmer of hope.
Yeah, and like I also just said before, like even if this ends up being terrible, like at least when this comes out, we'll probably get some more cool stuff to go along with it. Like who knows? We might get another Power Rangers game. We might get another cartoon. Who knows? We might finally get this goddamn cartoon to come get along with it.
And no matter what, it cannot be worse than Operation Overdrive and Mega Force.
Is that sure?
Son, they're gonna have to try to intentionally be worse than those seasons.
Yeah, and then like we were talking about the movie before
fire too. There's so many.
I don't know how. I guess we didn't mention this yet. I don't know how these are going to coincide with each other. Is the movie going to be completely unrelated? If this rumored movie is even real,
yeah.
This makes me. I'm not gonna lie. This announcement makes me believe that the movie rumors is real now, because like, do you make this completely unrelated? Like, do you do this coincide with it? Like, does this lead into the movie? Are we doing like some Marvel shit? Like, are we gonna you have to watch the show first to watch the movie? Like, or like this kind of makes everything more interesting now. Like, what are we doing now? Like, so
movies do take longer to produce than shows. So I would imagine
that's also something that I didn't mention earlier. That movie rumor was back in December. Obviously, we haven't come out with episodes since then, so we never talked about it. But that was back in December. This the TV show at this point was on March 19th when that rumor came out.
Way more recent.
So yeah, so that when the movie rumor came out, it said 2026. I mean, obviously, those was a rumor, so who knows if that's even true. Yeah.
Let's not come out. I'll say 2028.
But yeah,
I'll be generous.
2028.
Wow, that's a while.
No, that's 3 years though. That's 3 years. I feel like that's enough time. Yeah. Legend of White Dragon is what? It's supposed to come out in 2019.
Don't use that as an example.
I'm just saying,
Bro, first of all, we're going to get the new movie and the new show and an animated series and Battle for the Grid 2 before we get Legend of the White Dragon.
But yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I'm never getting that shit. Like, I'm actually, I've done peace. I've made my peace with it. Like,
we're going to get a new Ninja Kids show before that.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, the fact that they've really disrespected my dude like this,
it's just.
I'm like, okay, like I'm just
not gonna care anymore. So whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's probably my piece. What do you think, Uchi?
Wow.
I hope he
So
sides with me because you say you were in middle ground. You sided more with me, but continue, Uchi. Sorry. Just want to bring that to
Yeah, I mean, I see both sides. I understand why JD is kind of jaded on the fact of what, like we don't have it. But I'd say, like what I was just saying, like that made me go a little bit higher when I saw that maybe they do have all their ducks in a row. Like they got all this stuff. Like it's not just out of thin air. It's not just one guy. Like, oh yeah, this guy's making it. Okay, like, and then we just don't hear anything.
It sounds more tangible. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna lie. Usually, whenever there's some spurt of random rumors that pop up when it comes to Power Rangers, I usually have my eye roll reaction, like I said. But when I saw the Disney Plus mention, I went like this.
Yeah, right. It's like,
yeah, because I'm like, wait a minute, like Disney Plus, like we're going back to Disney, like because now the landscape is a little different, especially with Disney, because they have a lot of different, they have a lot of other IPs under their umbrella. And funny enough, I've always had this dream where, how you really make Power Rangers like stand out and be like, like make people care about it that much more, is if you cross them over with Marvel.
I knew this was coming. I swear I knew this. As soon as it was Uchi's turn to talk, I knew that this is where it was going. I'm not even making this shit up. That is crazy. Crazy. When you know somebody, you know somebody. Well, you're right. You're right.
I mean, it's very hard not to imagine it. I mean, and it's not just because of these rumors. These have been thoughts that I've had for, I don't know, ever since I was a kid, because, I mean, you saw X-Men, you saw Power Rangers.
Spider-Man.
And then yeah, right? And then you saw Spider-Man too. And then it's like, and then you come to realize when you grow up a little bit and you start learning more about the behind the scenes, that it's like the dude who made the theme song to both of those iconic shows is the same person. And like, it would be crazy to see. And now, granted, Marvel, they're not strangers to crossing over with, a lot of like in recent years, they've been actually crossing over with like fucking Ultraman. Yeah. And that in and of itself is pretty wild.
This isn't Marvel, but there's a freaking Justice League and Sonic crossover right now.
Yeah. Bro, I have that issue on pre-order, bro. Like, side note, I heard that Sonic is officially faster than Flash. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Which is, that's pretty nuts.
That is pretty fucking nuts. That's his hero. Anyway.
That's like when they said Bubbles was faster than Flash from Powerpuff Girls.
That's nuts.
That's, okay, neither here nor there. But, yeah, like, seeing there's a home for it, it definitely makes me excited. And being in this numb phase, right? Like seeing something like that has actually brought me out a little bit more than where I was feeling like, man, like this is like it's dead, like I don't feel like it's really as dead anymore, which is really nice. I'm still being very skeptical, and I'm not trying to be like too excited, because like I still got to see something, because it's been too long. It's like the last several years when it comes to Power Rangers, they've made me become acquainted with things just getting taken away more and more. And it's been a while since they've actually given me anything of real substance. So in all fairness, I do need to reserve my excitement for anything that could be official, no matter where it ends up, whether this Paramount movie is happening, however soon this Disney Plus series releases. But, as a side note, but and on a relatable note, if they are going to be housed by Disney Plus, I think they should really consider that potential crossover, because it's been something that I'm sure I can't be the only fan that's ever imagined it. I can't be.
They did it with DC.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. It's like in comics, it's happened. You know, like Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles. The two of those franchises have shown us that they are very adaptable, and they can work alongside a lot of other counterparts. I mean, I think it would. I feel like it would just be like a no-brainer, especially if you have the minds and the talent of all of these writers and like producers that work on all the Marvel projects. Like, imagine they get their hands on Power Rangers and they somehow work it into what's going on in like the MCU, for example. That would be probably a dream come true situation. That would probably be the craziest thing. And it's like it would bring an element of surprise, because imagine you pull up to an Avengers film and shit's going haywire, and then all of a sudden you see 5 flashes of color just come out of nowhere, and they start taking out whoever, and it's not like they announced it, and the characters are like, what's going on? Like, and the next thing you know, it's like they don't do the cheesy shit, right? They don't do the cheesy shit.
This ain't never happening.
But what they do, but what they do is they just present them cool as possible. They fight off the whoever, and they line up together. They all team up, whatever. Boom, and it's like, who the hell are you guys, and where you come from? It's like, we're the Power Rangers. Boom.
Yeah, that's definitely not happening. It'll be the other way around, because there's no way Disney will allow the Power Rangers to make it look stronger than the actual fucking Marvel characters.
I'm not saying they're gonna be stronger. I'm not gonna.
They saved them, like, it makes them look weak.
No. Listen, all their characters get
Some
fucking
wrestling
saved.
logic.
All their every character gets saved by somebody. That shouldn't matter.
So,
I got one last thing to add.
I hope that's something you can see in your lifetime, is at least seeing some type of crossover. Could it happen? Maybe. To that extent, highly doubt it. I highly doubt it, because we still haven't seen the Simpsons in Marvel.
What? The Simpsons?
Yeah, they're owned by the same company now. I'm just saying. Listen, I'm just saying. One can dream big, and I hope you get to see that. But but plus this news is like confirmed already, wasn't it? That it's not even a rumor anymore. It's actually confirmed that it is coming to Disney Plus. We just don't know like the when and who. And
it's not like officially confirmed by Hasbro, but it seems like it's legit.
Like official media outlets actually put it out, which the rumor with the Netflix stuff first. I mean, there was a whole interview and stuff that did take place, yes, but I feel like more like actual real publishing companies put this out. Like, there was no exclusive news story or anything. Like, the Sturdo put it out. Some Wire thing that you put out there.
The one I was on was the Wire.
Yeah, like I saw it all over the place.
But
they also didn't deny it neither.
The rap, my bad. The rap was what I put. But yeah. But all I gotta say, I hate to do this to you guys, but we've been saying this for a while. But it's not a coincidence that this news comes out as soon as Cobra Kai ends.
Yeah. Oh,
and yeah. We already know that they're not going to be working on the movie. They said that off rip. They said that Cobra Kai writers are not working on the new movie.
Do not give me hope.
This is actually a possibility.
Do not give me hope, Tech.
Auction money. That's why they did it.
They could be getting the Cobra Kai writers.
This auction money because they had to pay these actors.
They had to wait until Cobra Kai was over until they announced it. Like, all right, hold on.
Okay. Nope. All right.
Because if they announced this last year, it wouldn't have been possible. They're like, yeah.
Listen,
let's keep this on.
I want to believe, but
no.
Listen, JD already lost cause. I forgot he was even in this call.
That's mean.
This guy's the only one with literally the most different opinion, but he don't give a fuck about this.
It's not that I don't care. It's that, like, I don't know. I need to see it.
I understand where you're coming from, JD.
You're too nice. You reality, you don't want to hurt his feelings.
No, in reality, I'm understanding and I see both sides. But listen, I want to play along with Tech before we completely wrap this up, because this is a long ass video as it is.
That would be fun.
But here it is. I'm connecting all of our ideas right now. Okay. Obviously, we all would love to see the Cobra Kai cast be recast into Power Rangers. Now,
I'm okay with one of them.
No,
just
listen,
even one
listen,
of
listen,
them.
listen,
If we
listen.
get the writers, I'm happy. That's
hear
it.
me out. Hear me out.
The actors are a plus.
The actors would 100% be a plus, but just hear me out, okay? Going to Disney Plus. Isaac already kind of teasing the Ivan Ooze thing, okay? Now, if they were to do that, and if they had John Kreese as the fucking actor who played as Ivan Ooze,
Nah, man.
I would probably have a heart attack. And that shit would be crazy. Just dude, just paint him purple.
But
I think
does he have the
charisma
visually? But does he have the charisma to be Ivan Ooze? Because Ivan Ooze is like 90% charisma,
and this dude is 90 years old. I don't think it can happen.
But that would be fucking funny.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they could get the same actor who played Ivan Ooze, right? Is he, or is it, unless he's dead? I'm really not sure.
I think his name's like William something. I forget.
I know he's done cons.
Even one episode, I'm pretty sure he'll come out in. I'll be surprised if we don't see Ivan Ooze. Like I'm gonna be real. I'll be very surprised if we don't see Ivan Ooze.
Bro, if we see,
we're definitely gonna see Rita, or at least mention of Rita somehow. Even a mention of Ivan Ooze will be enough for me.
No. They're gonna. First of all, that character has been in a waiting room for far too many years. Everybody wants him to return. They bring back Ivan Ooze. That literally gives the fandom like a jump start, an actual jump start of, oh my god, we're getting. But then if they fucking get Kreese, Kreese, dude,
if they could get Cole Young,
dude. all I really need to see is Robbie as Tommy, and I'll be happy. But Kreese as Ivan Ooze would be a fucking bonus. But yeah, that's
any one of them, yo. Give me any Cobra Kai star in there. That'll be good enough, yo. Even I'll be okay with Dimitri.
No,
I'll be alright.
Keep the.
They definitely gotta bring Hawk somehow.
Hawk, okay. Hawk, I'm okay with.
Hawk, I'll push him. Oh, now you are. Remember your number one Hawk hater? Uchi, see the light now.
Oh my god, what are you talking about?
Oh, you hated Hawk.
Maybe I didn't like him at first, but then he grew on me.
Did it? Oh no, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I mean, character arcs. They gotta go through it.
Oh, Tech is cooked again. Tech is cooked again, yo.
He said, "Oh my god."
His mic.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're wrapping up anyway. If he can fix it before we completely.
He's gonna have to wave goodbye to the people because he can't see. Oh, he's cooked. You still can't hear him.
Yeah. Well.
Hey, Tech, if you on my side, don't say anything.
Yo.
Oh yeah, he's back. He's back.
Hey, so he's not on your side.
I'm not.
There you go.
All right.
No, well, I'm not.
No, you are. Okay,
cool.
Well, everyone watching at home, or wherever you're watching this, if you watched the entire video through, we definitely appreciate that. I know this was a very, 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 very long video, and normally, as you guys have seen in previous uploads, I'm sure you've been able to tell that we obviously have these sessions and then I cut them up into their own separate things. But just because of the nature of how involved I am with everything else, it'll be a lot easier to just throw this up all as one giant. Here's everything that's currently happening in 2025 for Power Rangers going forward into the future. And hopefully it won't be months and months before we come back around. We do have that documentary coming up, like we mentioned.
Next week?
Yeah.
Next week, Monday.
Yep.
Yeah, we have that coming up next. If there's any other bits of news that is definitely worth coming back around, talking about, covering, obviously we'll be back in action for that. And like I already had thrown out there, I'm gonna probably have to try to react to these freaking Ninja Power Ranger kids or whatever the hell it is.
Oh god.
I have to see it for myself. 22 million subscribers, bro. That's OD. So
yeah, let me know when you're reacting to that. I'm gonna be in there.
You guys are gonna pull up. All right.
That's it. Ninja Kids TV, man.
Yeah.
Ninja Kids TV.
But yeah, on that note, guys, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Make sure you guys are taking care of yourselves. May the power protect you. Keep it locked, loaded right here on Power Rangers Academia. Stay safe, stay clean, and stay down inside. And we'll see y'all next time.